engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Big Ten expects a response from Michigan on the notice of discipline alluding to illegal sign-stealing allegations by the end of today, reports ESPN's Pete Thamel. Ruling by the Big Ten not expected until tomorrow at the earliest, as officials are expected to take time to absorb Michigan's response. Any suspension given to football coach Jim Harbaugh by the Big Ten would be brief, believes Paul Feinbaum show host Paul Feinbaum.
I think more than anything, the Big Ten wants to send a message, but it also doesn't want to completely disembowel or disrupt the football season. So I think they can have it both ways by suspending him for 2 games. And I think it would have more bite to get him out of the Penn State game, even though he's already put in the game plan.
Paul Feinbaum on Carlin versus Joe. Georgia hasn't yet ruled out tight end Brock Bowers Saturday against Ole Miss. He's running again in practice. He did miss the last 2 games after ankle surgery. Rookie QB Tyson Bagent starts again for Chicago in place of the injured Justin Fields tomorrow against the Panthers. Carolina receiver DJ Chark is doubtful.
Brought to you by the Capital One Venture X card. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel. Plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Well, we got an update on Jayden Daniels.
Hump day.
Get to that in a minute.
It's hump day.
Florida beware.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Got a Saints injury report coming.
Hump day.
We're heading to Minneapolis later today.
It's hump day.
Our friend Tatum Everett will be here.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
She went to LSU.
Hump day.
Works for the Vikings.
It's hump day.
Wonder whose side she's on Sunday.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Probably Vikings.
Hump day.
J-Boy, hour 3.
It's hump day.
No Russ Mitchell.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell will be in studio Friday.
Hump day.
All right, we got a lot to do. Let's get to it. All right, glad you're aboard with us here. Of course, every Wednesday, the SEC Coaches Teleconference, Brian Kelly leads off every Wednesday. And as you might imagine, the first question out the chute was an update on Jayden Daniels, and it is good news for the LSU quarterback.
He worked out this morning, and it appears as though that workout went well, which is the last stage before he's cleared for non-contact practice. So we're expecting him to practice today. If all things go well through practice today, then he'll be cleared for contact on Thursday.
That's awesome news. Kind of what we had told you earlier this week. What I'd been told was the symptoms were mild, and they expected that Jayden would be able to play on Saturday, but you have to clear concussion protocol. I've been asked a lot, Would they risk it? Would Jayden that's not a thing. If you tweak your knee and you could put a brace on it, you get a pain-killing injection, you try to go play, that's different. You can't play until you clear concussion protocol. So Brian Kelly was asked point blank if Jayden Daniels had a concussion. He stopped short of that. He basically just meandered and said, well, he's in our protocol. So he didn't want to give sort of an official diagnosis, but whatever. The point being, Jayden worked out this morning. He's set to go through practice, non-contact this afternoon here on Wednesday. If that's all good, he'll be cleared for contact on Thursday and trending toward playing on Saturday. Now, Brian Kelly was also asked, and I guess sometimes in a press conference, you ask a question knowing the answer, but you have to ask the question because you need the quote, right? If you're a reporter and you're writing a story or you're doing a radio show or you're putting together a television package, like, you need the coach speaking on the record about certain things. So Brian Kelly was asked, what if Jayden Daniels isn't cleared until later in the week and doesn't get a bunch of practice time? Like, would he still start in the game?
He has moved through these stages to the point where he worked out this morning, ran 20 miles an hour. So if he goes through today's practice, then we'll decide, what's his preparation level, compared to, Nussmeier's preparation level, and make a decision on who would start on Saturday.
Jayden Daniels is leading college football in total offense. He's been in this offense for 2 years. He is the most efficient and highest performing quarterback in all the land. If Jayden Daniels is cleared, he is going to start and play against Florida. That should seem very obvious to all of us, but I do understand why you have to ask the question. So that's the great news. LSU and Jayden Daniels are trending toward him being able to play. For what it's worth, Billy Napier on the SEC Coaches Teleconference was asked about the challenge of preparing for two different quarterbacks, and he did point out the experience that Garrett Nussmeier has.
I think Nussmeier, because of kind of the flow of the last couple of years, has had an opportunity to play significant snaps and really play at some meaningful times. So they're both do a good job of making decisions, distributing the ball.
For what it's worth, of course, Nussmeier in his career has over 1,300 passing yards. And it's hard to believe this because he's been in a backup role, but Garrett's thrown 174 passes in his career. He's got 8 touchdowns and 6 picks. He has played a lot of football during his time. Remember, as a freshman, when it was TJ Finley, it was in 2021, it was Max Johnson who was starting, and then late in that season, they started Garrett against Arkansas. That was the game LSU lost in overtime, 17-14, I believe was the final, and that was a hideous offensive game. But he started that football game. We got to see him play in relief in the SEC championship game last year when Jayden got hurt, and he's had opportunities this year to play in some of the one-sided games. So, and obviously at Alabama when Jayden was injured. So, yes, Garrett's played a lot of football, and I think that's one of the more interesting potential storylines. Listen, we all want Jayden Daniels to be healthy. We want him to play these final 3 games. We want Jayden Daniels to stat compile and continue to give himself an opportunity to win the Heisman Trophy. But if we're just talking about like interest or intrigue, I think we could all agree, like, I am interested to see what it would look like with Garrett Nussmeier if it came to that. Now, again, I want Jayden Daniels to be healthy and I want Jayden Daniels to play, but that would be interesting. The other thing too, and listen, I'll go ahead and correct myself on this. We immediately after the game on Saturday when LSU lost to Alabama, T-Bob and I were doing Whiskey and Wine, and I made mention of the fact that Jayden's Heisman chances are gone. I mean, you're a 3-loss team, and yes, there are quarterbacks that have lost 3 games throughout a history that have gone on to win the Heisman. RG3 is a great example of that back in 2011. Lamar Jackson in 2016. Quarterbacks that had put together such incredible individual seasons, even though their team wasn't competing for a national championship, still won the Heisman. But that has to happen in a year where there isn't an obvious candidate, and that may be the case this year, where as of now there isn't an obvious candidate. Well, immediately after the game on Saturday, Jayden Daniels was removed from DraftKings as far as the Heisman odds. They took him off the board. Now, that might have been in part due to the injury, but Jayden has reemerged back on the DraftKings Heisman odds, and he is currently listed with the 7th best odds at plus 1,600. Now, that is a deep decline from where he was when the Alabama game started with the second best odds. But at plus 1,600, he's only behind Penix, Bo Nix, Jordan Travis, J.J. McCarthy, Carson Beck, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. And then you see Jayden Daniels at plus 1,600. For context, Jalen Milroe is plus 4,000. Jayden Daniels still has better odds than Jalen Milroe. So if Daniels plays the next 3 games, if Daniels is able to continue putting up stats the way he is, if LSU wins the next 3 weeks and finishes 9-3, and in the process, maybe Washington loses, Bo Nix and Oregon lose again, maybe Jordan Travis and Florida State drop a game. If not the regular season, maybe they lose the ACC championship game. It'd be really nice to see J.J. McCarthy and Michigan lose to Ohio State. There's a lot of things that could transpire, right? That could maybe clear that path for Jayden to get back. But, of course, what's paramount is being healthy, number one, and getting back on the field and continue to perform at that level. So, very interesting as this could continue to transpire. We'll keep an eye on it. But the great news today is it looks like Jayden Daniels is trending toward being able to play on Saturday in Tiger Stadium. All right, it's after further review. Our show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana. Of course, when you're out at Tiger Stadium, remember they got the Bud Light fan zone right in front of the PMAC, directly across from Tiger Stadium, kind of near Mike the Tiger's cage. So if you're going to be out on campus, make sure you go by and check out our friends over there. And if you're going to be watching the game at home or wherever you are, make sure you have plenty of Bud Light. Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Bud Light, the official beer of your New Orleans Saints. Drink easy in Death Valley or anywhere in Louisiana this football season with Bud Light, our great friends over at Mockler Beverage. Been a great community partner for more than 40 years. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll switch gears. I'll get you the first injury report of Saints-Bears week. We have an update on Justin Jefferson. We'll get to that when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001. Remember, preseason heater safety check. We got a little bit of a warm-up. Welcome to Louisiana, right? It's 84 degrees today. So we had that cool snap. We were in the lows in the 30s last week. We're back into the 80s this week. This is a great time when you kick those ACs back on to call River City's 1 Hour Air, have them come out for the preseason heater safety check. It's exactly what it says. Before the weather gets cold, let River City's 1 Hour Air come out and check on your home central heater. Before you crank that thing up and you're running it round the clock during the cold weather months, make sure it's efficient, clean, and safe to operate. River City's 1 Hour Air can help, and they'll save you $30 just for mentioning the Moscona special. Mention the show, they'll knock $30 off your price. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Okay, we'll get to the Saints injury report here in just a quick second. First injury report of the week for Saints and Vikings. How about this honor for Paulson Adebo? This should come as no surprise to anyone, and probably the easiest player of the week honor the NFL has had to give out so far this year. But after his performance on Sunday against the Chicago Bears, Saints cornerback Paulson Adebo named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And was there really any other choice? He stuffed the stat sheet with 7 tackles, intercepted Tyson Bagent twice, broke up 3 passes, and also had the forced fumble and fumble recovery when DJ Moore was held up, punched out the ball and recovered it. Paulson Adebo was a one-man wrecking crew on Sunday. Thank God he showed up, because without Paulson Adebo's 3 takeaways on Sunday, the Saints probably lose that game incredibly. But Paulson Adebo was awesome, and that was great to see. And the other thing about Adebo that's worth noting, the Saints made a huge investment in Marshawn Lattimore. They made him the 11th overall pick, and they paid him nearly $100 million when they extended him, and justifiably so. He's when he's right, arguably the best cornerback in the NFL. I said arguably. But Paulson Adebo's path also similarly has been really cool to see. Remember, when Adebo was at Stanford, he opted out of the COVID year. So Paulson Adebo didn't play football in 2020. The Saints used a high draft pick on him, and in 2021, as a rookie, he was really good. Paulson Adebo started all 17 games that year for the Saints. He had 66 tackles, 3 interceptions, had 8 pass breakups. He was really good as a rookie. And then if you remember, last year, when we were doing our camp reports, Paulson Adebo was the star of Saints training camp in 2022. Then he suffered the injury late in camp and ended up playing in just 13 games with 12 starts. So, and because he was battling that injury, he never really got all the way right last year. Still had 60 tackles, did not record an interception in a year defensively where the Saints just didn't take the ball away, and had 7 passes defensed. So but remember, he had the great rookie year, and he was just ascending throughout training camp going into year 2. Then he had the injury, and that really cost him throughout the year. You come into this year, and he has already missed 2 games, but when he's been healthy and his 7 games started, he's already got 4 interceptions, which is a career high. It's the most interceptions he had 3 as a rookie, none last year. So he's already got 4 interceptions. And in just 7 games, he's already got 11 pass defenses. Remember, his career high was 8 as a rookie. So through just 7 games, he's already bested his rookie number by three pass breakups. So you can go away from Marshawn Lattimore and you can challenge Paulson Adebo, but what he keeps showing is he's up for the challenge. Now, I understand the Saints aren't exactly playing the best passing offenses or the best quarterbacks in the league. We've talked about that a ton. But it doesn't matter. You're still out there on a given Sunday on an NFL field running around and you're stuffing the stat sheet. And that's awesome to see, because if you have Lattimore healthy, playing at his best, and you have the complement with Paulson Adebo, and both of these guys are still early in their careers, and now you add Alontae Taylor into the slot, you've got a three-headed monster there at cornerback in a passing era in the NFL that is unmatched in the history of the New Orleans Saints. We've talked about this. When Lattimore came into the league in 2017 and started playing at an all-pro level, we put a lot of history and context around this, but the best cornerback tandem the Saints ever had in their history prior to now was Jabari Greer and Mike McKenzie. Remember, they traded for McKenzie, and the Super Bowl team, it was Greer and McKenzie was like the best cornerback duo literally in the history of the Saints organization. We had that conversation with Mike D over and over again during those years. You're better than that now. I mean, you've got two legit number one dudes that are playing at an all-pro level right now, which is awesome. So congrats to Paulson Adebo, a no-brainer to be named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. But what a day he had against the Bears. Thank God he showed up ready to play. It's a huge reason as to why the Saints were able to win that game and win their second consecutive game and take over first place in the division. All right, I'll get to the Saints injury report. More importantly, what's going on in Minnesota here in just a quick second. I'm brought to you by Michelli. Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, with more than 30 offices across 11 different states. You're never far from a Michelli Weighing and Measurement office. If you weigh or measure something, they can service you. If you need your precision measurement devices calibrated, they can help. Always encourage you to start at the website. Go to the website. If you're a business owner, maybe you're a project manager, a foreman, you deal with heavy equipment or scales or precision measurement devices that need to be calibrated, go to the website, look at the industries they service, all the different services that they provide. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, 76 years in business. Great career options as well across 11 different states. Learn more at Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. The media availability for the Saints practice on Wednesday has come and gone. We're waiting on the first injury report to be posted. I'll get to that here in just a quick second. But of greater note is what's happening in Minnesota. So, yes, Joshua Dobbs is the story, who, by the way, was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week after his performance in Atlanta this past weekend. But we know Dobbs is going to start against the Saints in Minneapolis on Sunday. But Justin Jefferson was back at practice. Remember, Justin Jefferson had the hamstring injury. He went to IR, so he missed 4 games. He is eligible now to return off of IR. And Ian Rappaport and others reported earlier today, a practice window for Justin Jefferson is being opened this week. He now has 21 days to be activated. He notes this does not mean he'll play this week, but he's on his way back from the hamstring injury that landed him on injured reserve. So, Justin Jefferson, it's not to say he will play on Sunday against New Orleans, but he is available to play as they've opened the 21-day window. So, for whatever it's worth, Schefter quoted Kevin O'Connell today, who said it would be, quote, a little aggressive to think Justin Jefferson will play Sunday against the Saints, though, quote, he can't wait to get back out there. So as of right now, it doesn't seem like Jefferson is going to play against the Saints. That, in the words of the coach, that might be a little aggressive as of right now, but he is available to play against the Saints. He is, according to NFL rules coming off of IR, available to play against the Saints if, in fact, they decide to do that. So we'll keep an eye on that as we move throughout this week. It was Wednesday, so as the media who were in attendance noted, Ryan Ramczyk, Jimmy Graham weren't there during the media viewing portion of practice. they've had their veteran rest days on Wednesdays all throughout the year, so that's been pretty common. And Brooke Kirchhoffer from New Orleans Football also noted that Kendre Miller and Isaiah Foskey were not at practice. Remember, Miller left the game Sunday with the ankle injury, and Foskey left the game and was ruled out with a quad injury. So we'll see about the two rookies if they can find their way back to availability for this week for the Saints in Minnesota. But as of right now, we're waiting on the full injury report to be posted. But Kendre Miller, Isaiah Foskey, rookies not at practice during media viewing. Ryan Ramczyk, Jimmy Graham, their usual veteran day off on Wednesday. All right, it's after further review. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Glad you're here. We'll knock out a quick break, come back, go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro with a little Bourbon Dictionary here in about 15 minutes from right now. Also, they out here trying to taint Kim Mulkey's natty, y'all. If you've not heard the latest, I will tell you, really all you got to do is go look at any of the major national websites right now, and you will see the headline, and it is appalling, but we'll talk about it when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. That's me, that's Ryan Terrio, that's Richard Tilley, that's our great team. Jeff Hudson, John Michael Garcia, Sherry Hudson up in North Louisiana in the Bossier office. More than 20 years ago, they opened their doors statewide now. No matter where you are in Louisiana, commercial or residential, you need a roof repair or roof replacement. Do business with someone you know. That's Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. A Louisiana company, Louisiana born, with Louisiana people using Louisiana products. The CertainTeed shingles manufactured right there in the Shreveport, Louisiana plant, supporting Louisiana jobs. Hudco Roofing. Do business with someone you know. I'll remind you again, if you have a commercial building, flat roof, metal roof, Hudco offers a silicone coating product. You got to look into this. If you're a business owner, you got a commercial building, flat roof, metal roof, roughly half the cost of a roof replacement, and it comes with a 20-year warranty. It's Hudco Roofing. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there in the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
This almost feels like a joke. Literally had somebody, well, I'll tell you who it was. I'll shout at the person that sent it to the show text line. You can always text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. It was Robert Potts who sent this to me, who said, I'd love to hear your take on this. The headline screams LSU wins because ref screwed up. Robert Potts sent me a link, and the headline at ESPN.com. Actually, you know, Paulie, I'm going to pull up this headline at ESPN.com so you can see I'm not making this up. If you go to the front page, homepage at ESPN.com, here you go. Paulie, pull this up, please. Pull up my screen. Here's the homepage of ESPN.com. I'm going to go zoom into top headlines, and would you look at what's right there? Ref errors found during LSU title win versus Iowa. Let's click on that and see what pops up. Oh, ref errors marked LSU women's title win versus Iowa, reviews find. When you see that title, what does that scream to you? You read that title, you see that ref errors marked LSU women's title win versus Iowa, reviews fine. What do you think when you read that?
LSU won because of the refs.
Yeah, sure they did. The lead, L-E-D-E, the lead in this story at ESPN.com reads, November 8th, 2023, 11:49 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to read for you the lead here. L-E-D, the lead, the first line. LSU's national championship win over Iowa to end last season's NCAA women's basketball tournament is remembered in part for its controversial officiating. A review of the game by the NCAA and an independent review provided by the Associated Press concluded the refereeing did not meet expectations. Hey, Muse, what do you remember most about LSU's win over Iowa?
Well, I'll tell you honestly, Jasmine Carson draining threes.
Jasmine Carson raining threes all day long, literally didn't miss in the first half. Paulie, what do you remember about LSU's win in the Natty over Iowa?
I remember Angel Reese and the "You Can't See Me" thing.
You can't see me, ring me, right?
Ring
Point
me.
to the ring, you can't see me. Yeah. Anything else come to mind? Kim Mulkey hugging Alexis Morris coming off the floor, lifting her up off the ground. Lots of visuals from that. Afterwards, of course, Jill Biden inviting Iowa as well to the White House.
Remember that.
SNL,
Spoofing,
Punky Johnson doing the bit on Weekend Update. Keith Olbermann showing yet again what an old a-hole he is when he called Angel Reese very derogatory terms on Twitter because he's an old, angry man. Anybody ever talk at all about the officiating in that game? Has that been a talking point ever?
No.
Not that I can recall, no.
I literally don't. Caitlin Clark got a technical late in the game, if you remember. She slammed the ball.
Yep.
But LSU won by 17. And we're leading by as many as 11 million in that game. Right? Let me check the box score, but I'm pretty sure it was 11 million, wasn't it?
It was a rout, for sure.
What the hell is this? What? The game's remembered in part for its controversial officiating? Now, this review found that, and I will quote, NCAA Vice President for Women's Basketball Lynn Holzman, quote, in the championship game itself, for example, we typically have a performance that I think is 91% historically, meaning the refs are correct on 91% of the calls. Have you read this yet, by the way? Have you read this?
I read it.
You read it, Paul? Did you read it yet?
I have not.
Okay. If typically refs are at 91% historically on their calls. And you're now, after this game, releasing this study that says your refs were below average. And it comes with a headline that reads, I ain't making this up, y'all. Ref errors marked LSU women's title win versus Iowa, reviews fine. So remember, 91% is pretty typical, Paulie. What would you think? Just ballpark. What would be something that would be egregious to warrant that headline?
75, maybe?
88%.
Yeah.
88%. 91 to 88%. And I can't remember a damn single controversial call. Oh, by the way, can I dig a little deeper for you?
Sure.
Can I dig a little deeper?
Yeah,
you may like this a lot. How about this? Mistakes made during the game included a foul called on Angel Reese at the end of the first quarter. That was the second of her game. In the third quarter, 2 offensive fouls were missed, 1 by each team.
Oh.
So of the 3 they highlight, 2 of them went against LSU.
The team that won by 11 million?
The team that won by, no, they won by 17.
Oh.
But at one point they were up by 11 million. And then they were like, hey, we're just going to go,
Yeah, we should
somebody call
take the
Lil
foot off
Wayne,
the gas
get
a
Weezy
little
down
bit.
here.
Yeah.
Let's get the celebration going. You can't see me. Get my ring size, all that. Book the flight to the White House.
Yeah.
Give me my Reebok deal, Angel Reese. My Mercedes deal, Angel Reese. You know what I mean. You want to know why people don't trust the media? This is why people don't trust the media. Like, this is a case in point why people don't trust the media. What that headline is leading you to believe is that LSU's national championship is tainted because the refs screwed up. First of all, the margin of screw up was minimal. And what do I always say? What is the word what is the phrase? You listen to me every single, what do I say all the time about officials?
They're all bad at their jobs.
Every one of them. They're all bad at their jobs. The expectation is that they all be perfect, and they will never be perfect, ever. They're all bad at their jobs. So normally, normal expectation is 91%. You're missing 9% of the calls. You're missing 1 out of 10 calls. That's the expectation, is you're missing 1 out of 10. That's your expectation for a championship game.
Yeah.
And instead of 91%, it's 88. And 3 of the ones you highlight are against the team that won. Bruh. And then look at the date. What's today's date?
Today is November the 8th.
Today's November the 8th.
Yeah.
When was that game?
April the 2nd.
April 2nd. It says May, June, July, August, September, October, November.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting on my piggies. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. 7 months ago. This was 7 months ago, and today, a couple days after LSU loses its opener, you drop this pile of crap? You got me upset about women's basketball. You got my blood boiling about this. What in the world has happened in 7 months? What have we seen transpire in the last 7 months, Muse?
A lot,
that
actually,
any of
Matt.
that could have, all the things that have transpired in that time. And today you drop this.
Yeah, a lot, actually. One thing we saw was the first country song finish as the #1 song of the summer across any genre since the 70s.
Oh, what was that?
That was Last Night by Morgan Wallen.
This would be a good time to play that song.
Yeah, well, that's not the bet I went with.
Well, if you're better at your job, you would have played it right now.
All right, well, hey, now. You know what? Probably the biggest story in pop culture history happened.
Why are there paper towels right there? Why am I looking at this shot that's got paper towels? See, now I'm triggered.
Yeah.
Now I'm triggered. You done triggered me. I'm sweating right now, and now I'm pissed that there's paper towels sitting right there.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift started dating.
Yep.
Probably the biggest pop culture
fan
story
of that too.
ever.
I think it's going to work. What do you think is the bigger matchmaking event? Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, or The Bachelor?
Well, it's The Bachelor, clearly.
No, not even
100%.
close. But I'm looking forward to it.
Close.
What do I care more about? The Bachelor.
There you go. Twitter rebranded as X.
They did. In the time that it took the NCAA to come out with their independent third-party study to tell us absolutely nothing, Twitter completely got a new name.
Yeah, it did.
How about that?
It did. 6 people Six people have already dropped out of the 2024 presidential election.
That's
the election
a lot.
for next year.
That gave them so much time to realize they ain't going to win. They said, I'm going to save the money. I'm going to get out of here. But today is the day they decided to drop this little nugget here.
Bob Barker died.
Oh.
Yeah. Jerry Springer died.
Rip. Oh,
Matthew Perry died. Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of celebrity
Forgot
deaths.
about Tina Turner.
Yeah, and there. The Iron Sheik.
Oh,
Rip.
Sheiky.
Yeah, man. Rip Sheiky. Rip Sheiky.
Sheiky, is this vitamin C?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my God. I just realized what you were. Crank that up a little bit there, Muse. I just realized what you were playing.
Look, as we go on, remember.
This was my senior year of high school. You know what I was talking about before? How a song can just bring you right back? Remember when we played Macy Gray for that bit? But I could have played this. I could have played Vitamin C.
Yeah.
The graduation song.
The graduation song. LSU baseball won their 7th natty.
Oh, that was good times.
You think I wasn't going to mention that?
Yeah, that was good times.
That was good.
Yep.
That was good. We have a new governor in Louisiana.
Yeah, a governor-elect.
Governor-elect. Excuse me. Yes, governor-elect.
There we go.
Sorry. Yes, I misspoke there.
Yeah.
A lot's happened.
Yeah, a lot has happened. How about that? And apparently it took that long for a bunch of nincompoops to go through the LSU National Championship game and decide that the refs were successful on 88% of their calls, where the baseline is typically 91% of their calls. And of the 3 they mentioned, 2 of them went against LSU, yet the headline reads, "Game marred! Marred by ref errors!" You wonder why people don't trust the media? You wonder why?
Yeah, why? Right there.
This is a great example why. All right. What time is it? Okay, we got to get to Taylor Calandro. We're brought to you by Traction, TractionSports.com. We'll go around the SEC here really quickly. Oh, remember, Traction. Remember, parents. Traction Holiday Baseball Camps and Traction Holiday Speed Camps. They're registering. I'm going to keep reminding you this every single day. Go to the website, TractionSports.com, 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 TractionSports.com. When you open up, there's Louisiana and Mississippi. You tap the Louisiana tab, you scroll down, and you'll see it right there. Holiday baseball camps, holiday speed camps, ages 5 to 12, full and half-day options. You'll get fundamental training, positional training, team games every day for the camp as well. It's baseball, and they also have the speed camps, again, at Traction, full and half-day options. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, holiday, baseball, and speed camps over at Traction, TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made. Okay, let's go quickly. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Excellence in imaging solutions. The Georgia Bulldogs.
Forgot about Bob Barker. It's got sad all over again. But he was 100 or 99. You get to say 100 if you didn't make it to 100. You were 99.
I think it depends on how close you were. If
you're 99. I think you got to make it.
If you're like a few days.
I think you got to make it. Good poll question. I think you got to make it for that one. Brock Bowers. Kirby Smart gave an update on the sprained ankle. A typical recovery time is 4 to 6 weeks. Can take longer. Kirby Smart said he's running on dry land. Hoping he keeps getting better. Injury was back October the 14th against Vanderbilt. Bowers, 41 catches for 567. Still leads the team in receiving yards despite missing the past 2 games.
The Missouri Tigers.
Star wide receiver Luther Burden had an injury over the weekend. His status for the Tennessee game Saturday in question. That's pretty devastating for that Missouri offense if he's not able to go. Didn't practice in full earlier this week. Eli Drinkwood said a jury's still out whether or not Burden's going to be able to play this week. Apparently suffered the injury in the loss to Georgia over the weekend. Burden, of course, Missouri's leading receiver with 64 catches for 958 yards.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Sam Pittman provided an update on a trio of Arkansas players. Ty Washington expected to miss the remainder of the year. 3 others, a wideout Andrew Armstrong, defensive lineman Anthony Booker, and offensive lineman Patrick Kuptas. Various stages of their recovery prior to the game against Auburn. Armstrong is the leading receiver for the Razorbacks. It would be huge if he's not able to go this week.
The Auburn Tigers.
And Auburn freshman cornerback J.D. Rim is working through personal issues, according to Hugh Freeze. That explained his absence so far on these football Saturdays. They're at a point whether they're wondering if they're going to redshirt him or not. Rim has played in 4 games this year, so if he were to play in another game, he would forfeit the redshirt year. Most recent appearance was the game in Baton Rouge against LSU. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. You know where to find him. GCOPnet.com. GCOPnet.com. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, North Shore, Lafayette. They sell the Savin line, but they'll service all makes and models. It's Gulf Coast Office Products, GCOPnet.com. Okay, y'all, let's not get a break. Taylor Calandro, when we come back, Bourbon Dictionary, get your booze questions in. It's hunting season, y'all, and I'm not talking about deer. I'm talking about brown water. It is whiskey hunting season, y'all. Let's go. Taylor's coming up. Get your questions in. And 30 minutes from right now, we're heading up to Minneapolis. Our friend Tatum Everett is going to join us, give us a preview of the Minnesota Vikings as the Saints are heading up to Minnie this weekend. Jay Crain in hour number 3. Ton to do. Glad you're here. AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel. Y'all, Friday of a home game, you know where the Tigers will be, at the Renaissance Hotel. Right there on Bluebonnet across from Perkins Row. Can't miss it. Easy proximity to I-10 if you have family coming in for the holidays and they need a place to stay because you know you ain't putting grandma or sister-in-law up in your house. Put them up at the Renaissance. Nope, don't do that, Muse. Put them at the Renaissance Hotel right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. And if you're thinking about hosting your next event, whatever it may be, wedding reception, awards banquet, fundraiser, their ballroom can host as many as 500 people. Or maybe you need a ballroom for a dozen people or any size in between. At the Renaissance, our friend Allison Crump over there, she always says, we're in the business of saying yes. They'll accommodate you however they need to do it. It's the Renaissance Hotel. Right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. Check out Tallulah as well inside the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we're featuring 2023 Toyota Tundras with $2,000 bonus cash. $2,000 bonus cash offer on Toyota Tundras. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating Ram Power Days with $15,000 off MSRP on new 23 1500 trucks, $15,000 off, and a 1 million mile warranty. Plus, we'll pay your trade-off regardless of what you owe. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, get your booze questions in. Taylor Calandro joins us from Calandro's Wine and Spirits Director over there. How are you, dude?
Good. How are you, Matt?
Doing awesome, man. You know what I had on did I tell you this? I did tell you this. Halloween last week, poured me a little E.H. Taylor.
Single barrel?
No, it was the barrel proof.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you did tell me.
We
I
did.
don't know.
Yeah, we talked about that last week because Halloween was Tuesday. And I poured some Russell's 13 the other night as well. It's whiskey season, man. I'm so fired up. You know, I mean, all during the summer, I don't do whiskey. It's just too hot. But
Me too, man.
it's time, dude. It's so time. What's new?
I left the store about 45 minutes ago. We had 4 bottles of Penelope Valencia.
Okay.
Which they released, man, that was within the past year. But the first time we got it, it was gone very fast. There was only 4 bottles left when I left. Don't call; they're not going to hold bottles. But good luck, because we only got a case. So.
Okay.
But
Anything else? Yeah.
It's $80.
Anything else?
Nothing much new. We did get that Parish Actius Luna triple IPA last week, which we sold out of in a day. We're getting more tomorrow. So.
I did buy a 4-pack.
And
I really enjoyed it. I have one left.
I tried it yesterday. I love it, and everybody I've talked to really, really likes it. Like you're saying, they like it way more than Atticus, actually.
Yes. Very hoppy, very earthy. Triple IPA. The earthier, the hoppier, the better for me. So yep. I really did like it a lot. But as you mentioned, the one last year, the Luna, I was not a fan of. But this one, or was last year the Luna? Or was the
No. Last year, the last couple of years has been Atticus Atlas. This is
Thank you. The Luna is the one is this year.
Yes.
Very good. If anyone's into. What's that?
This is the first time they've done the Luna.
Yeah, very, very good. Highly recommend if you're into triple IPAs and hoppy beers. All right, let's get to your questions. Email us, tweet us, text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Chris Burke, hey, Taylor, any cool experiences in Napa Valley besides wine, bourbon related?
I have only been in Napa Valley one time. And I have not got to do anything but wineries. Maybe you can answer that question, Matt. You've been there, and I don't know if you've done anything but wineries. But
well, we went last February. Erica and I did with another couple, some friends of ours, and we did. I'm blanking on the name, but it was a vodka distillery right in the middle of. I think they're in Sonoma, actually. And it was very interesting.
Oh, you were telling me about that, and I don't usually I remember the names and stuff like that, but I remember the name. But yeah, I remember you telling me that actually.
It was flavored vodka. It was just we did it to change the pace a little bit, so it wasn't just all vino all the time. But
I was so sick of drinking wine when I left Napa the first time. Italy, too. I was just sick of drinking wine.
Let's see. Sean Comiskey said, ask Taylor. Here's an Actius Luna question. He said, Actius Luna is incredibly strong. Is it better to pour it into a glass and let it sit for a little while?
Well, so, I mean, it's very fresh. I would imagine over the next few weeks, the beers like that always change. So I would over the next few weeks, I would expect it, and I don't know for sure, but just to settle down a little bit.
Just real quick though, it's an important distinction. So when you pour a whiskey, for example, you want to let it sit because the more air that gets into it, it opens up the flavor, right? So it's like aerating wine. But with beer, as I understand it, when you pour it, you want to pour it with head because that's what opens up the flavor, correct? But some beers are supposed to be are better consumed out of the can, right, or out of the bottle. They're not supposed to be poured into a glass.
Yes, you get different flavors depending on what kind of vessel you drink out of. Every time you can drink the same thing, but if you're drinking it out of the can, out of a rocks glass, out of a pint glass, you're going to get different flavors. And there's different glass is made for different things.
Yes.
And also with beer, beer changes a lot, just like whiskey, as it changes temperature in your glass too.
That's a really good question. It's interesting because you will have a different experience if you pour it into a glass or if you drink it out of a can or a bottle. That's absolutely true.
And it's like adding ice to whiskey.
Yes.
Whiskey's going to change the whole time. The drink's going to change the whole time you drink it.
Christopher Davis asked Taylor, what do you think about the Breckenridge whiskey brands?
I like Breckenridge. We don't have any currently available, but I've tried Breckenridge before, and it's a tasty little whiskey for sure.
Greg Lehman asked Taylor, if you won't hold bottles from Moscona, who would you hold bottles for?
Oh, man, I would hold bottles. Every now and then my mother texts me and asks me.
She don't need to text you. She can text
still
your
give her a
dad.
hard time. She works in the hospital, so she's always asking for doctors. But I have a hard time holding stuff for her.
Last one. Favorite vineyard in Napa?
I loved Decoy Duckhorn.
Ooh.
It was awesome.
That was not my favorite.
I love duck, but I love duck.
Frank Family was awesome, and Trinchero was that one took.
I forgot about Trinchero. Trinchero was absolutely incredible. So I'm probably going to say Trinchero. I don't know how I forgot about that. But
Trinchero is the one. All right, we got 3 seconds. Thanks, dude. We'll see you.
See you, dude.
All right.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Holidays are upon us. You're going to be going over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go, or wherever you're going. If you're going to be driving there, make sure your vehicle's ready to take your family. Shawbills. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, I'm out tomorrow, as a matter of fact. We're taking Drew to Florida. He's got a cardiology appointment, and took Erica's car to make sure we were all serviced and ready to roll before we head over, just day trip, quick there and back. But if you need the oil change, the tires rotated, you got the check engine light on, or if it's time for new tires, take it to the best, the place where they're going to treat you like family, the place where they've been treating Louisianians like their family since 1968. 55 years. It's Shawbills. Go to ShawbillsTire.com. They even have a customer bill of rights. It's the thing that every customer who goes to Shawbills should be guaranteed. Who does that? Shawbills does. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills. We keep you rolling.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. The Angels are hiring Braves third base coach Ron Washington as their new manager. He's got connections to Angels GM Perry Manassian from his time in Atlanta, as well as when he was manager of the Rangers. The expectation of the Big Ten, by the end of today, Michigan will respond to the notice of discipline, which alluded to illegal sign-stealing allegations, reports ESPN's Pete Thamel. A ruling by the league not expected until tomorrow at the earliest, as officials are expected to take time to absorb Michigan's response. Potential discipline from the Big Ten would likely be a suspension for football coach Jim Harbaugh. ESPN college football insider Heather Dinich.
For all of the allegations, the most important thing to remember is head coach responsibility. And it's the NCAA rule, whether Jim Harbaugh knew or not, that specifically states he can be held responsible for the actions of his staff and individuals associated with the program.
Heather Dinich on Get Up. Bears quarterback Justin Fields will not play tomorrow against the Panthers. Rookie Tyson Bagent starts in his place. Giants start rookie QB Tommy DeVito Sunday against the Cowboys.
Brought to you by the Capital One Venture X card. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel. Plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Heading up to Minnesota in 15 minutes. Our friend Tatum Everett, LSU alum, now the digital media producer for, or director of digital content for the Minnesota Vikings. She does all the Minnesota Vikings content. She's awesome at what she does. Great LSU alum. We're excited to have Tatum here in 15 minutes. Jake Crain next hour, as Muso affectionately calls him, our side piece. What day was that? Was that?
I can't remember which day it was.
No, it was a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday, and Sean Salisbury was traveling and had to bail late. And so Sean's with us every Tuesday for 2 segments in hour 3, and he was traveling, and his flight got delayed, and he let us know, like, the middle of hour 2, hey, man, I ain't going to make it. And so we're like, ooh, that's 30 minutes of content that just got wiped. What do we do? I know. Call J-Boy.
Call J-Boy.
And Jake came on. He's like, I'm happy to be your side piece.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? And I love you for it. So we'll talk to J-Boy next hour. Real quick, the headline of the day, I get it, 4 o'clock. A lot of you just knocking off of work, maybe just getting in the car, truck, or van, riding around. If you haven't heard yet, Brian Kelly earlier today updating Jayden Daniels' status. The absolute latest, here it is.
He worked out this morning, and it appears as though that workout went well, which is the last stage before he's cleared for non-contact practice. So we're expecting him to practice today. If all things go well through practice today, then he'll be cleared for contact on Thursday.
That's fantastic to hear. It certainly sounds like Jayden's trending toward playing, which we all want to see, which is awesome. You know, as this week goes along, yeah, the what are you playing for question is one that kind of continues to pop up. And I asked Brian Kelly that on Monday. He was asked it again today about, can you play number 5 from the teleconference today, Muse? He was talking about why this is an important game against Florida.
An important game for us. You know, Florida has always been a game decided by, one score. It's a rivalry game. Two teams transitioning to build their programs back to national prominence. So, an important game for both teams, wanting to come out with a victory. So, our guys are working hard to put their best game and a complete game together. And I'm sure, Florida's doing the same thing.
I was reminded of this morning, and look, LSU's had a good streak in this series. Florida won in 2018. That was the Burrow pick 6 year down in Gainesville. LSU, of course, beat them in Baton Rouge in 2019. Beat them in the Fog in 2020. Beat them in Baton Rouge in 2021, where Ty Davis-Price went off for 300 yards, and then beat them last year in Gainesville, 45-35, where the Tigers rallied. So LSU's won 4 straight in this series. They haven't done that since 1977 and 1980. It's the last time LSU won 4 straight. Actually, the only other time that LSU's won 4 straight in this series. They've never won 5 straight. So LSU is trying to do something it's never done against Florida, which is win 5 in a row. But I was reminded of this earlier today because someone was asking me about next. The way the question was phrased was next year when there's a 12-team playoff, would LSU potentially be in the mix? And it was sort of an aha, sort of a eureka moment, because for those that continue to push back against the playoff and an expansion of the playoff, consider that question, right? We're sitting here in November. LSU's about to play Florida, and a lot of people here are going, well, what are you playing for? And I understand it, because the goal here isn't win 10 games. The goal isn't just beat Florida. The goal is go to the playoff and win a natty. And you got 3 weeks remaining in important games. I mean, you want to maintain your dominance over Florida. You got to play A&M. You certainly don't want to lose back-to-back years to them when they stink. I mean, you want to make sure that you win out here, get to 9 wins, go to a bowl game, get to 10, and all that's true, and Brian Kelly's talking about. And hopefully the players are motivated for that. But think about this practically. A year from now, if you're LSU, you're going, man, we're a 3-loss team, all 3 losses on the road to top 10 teams. We got 3 to play. If we win out and maybe get a little help, we could still get into a playoff. Think about how much more engaged you are as a fan base, how much more engaged the players are. And there's more teams in the country in that same boat if they have a chance to get in. And I know what the counter argument is, and I hear from you all the time, you're dead wrong. You say, well, every week's a playoff in college football, and it's the most meaningful regular season. Well, if every week's a playoff and LSU's now out, then it's not a meaningful regular season, because what you've then decided is the final month of the season doesn't matter for LSU. And I'm here to tell you that a year from now, it's going to be freaking amazing, because more teams are going to care. In the same way that with the NBA, with the play-in now and all that stuff, you can complain all you want about it. It keeps more teams engaged longer, more fan bases engaged longer. And yes, you are allowed to improve as the season goes along. So I'm fired up for it. And a year from now, if it were this situation, we'd be having that conversation about LSU. What would it take? What needs to happen over the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, championship weekend, to get LSU into the playoff as one of the top 12 teams, which would still be in play with 3 weeks to go? Saw a hypothetical playoff chart. Or you know what? I don't even need to use a hypothetical chart. Let's look at the college football playoff rankings, for example. So right now, after the nincompoops in Dallas put out their rankings, imagine so the top 4 got a bye: Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State. LSU, let's say LSU is the last team in. Let's say they were number 12, just hypothetically. you'd be staring at an LSU at Washington round 1 game in Seattle. You mean to tell me you wouldn't be excited to watch Jayden Daniels against Michael Penix in Seattle in a round 1 playoff game? That's not something you'd be interested in? Huh? No? You wouldn't be interested in watching that theater? Some of y'all just complaining because you think you're supposed to complain. Playoff is going to be phenomenal next year. Can't wait for it. All right, it's After Further Review. Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Online at theantiagingclinics.com. Theantiagingclinics.com. Remember, tomorrow is Christmas in November for the Lafayette store. Last week was Baton Rouge. Tomorrow is Lafayette. 1 day only. Best sale prices of the year. If you can't make it in store, you can get those deals by calling as well to the Lafayette store. Again, Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Christmas in November. 1 day only. Best prices on everything. Every product, every service, everything. 1 day only tomorrow at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana in Lafayette. Of course, online, theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. I wanted to get to this. I don't know if I have time now because I went long. Let's play. Deion Sanders was on the Dan Patrick Show. I want to play this if we could. And Dan Patrick asked Deion about the possibility of eventually maybe coaching in the NFL. Here's how it went.
Is the NFL a goal eventually in your life?
Coaching?
Yeah.
No, not whatsoever. I don't think I'm built for the NFL. I don't think, because I appreciate the game so much, and I respect the game so much of what the game has consistently done for me for a multitude of years, that when I see a guy getting paid millions and millions of dollars and he has no respect for the game, does not want to excel and exceed expectations in the game, I'm going to have a true problem. So I'm the kind of coach that would go out there with 53 and come back after halftime with about 32. Because I can't do it. Like, I'm too brutally honest, and I want to win that much, and I need everybody that respects the game. And oftentimes money clouds that judgment. That is happening in college football. Money clouds that love and that passion for the game.
What if it's a package deal with you and Shedeur?
Don't forget Shiloh, by the way. Don't forget Shiloh.
Eventually he's coming.
No, sure. They're going to come out the same year, next year.
Okay.
They better not try to leave Daddy this year, by the way.
How about that, by the way? That's all. So Deion, no interest in the NFL. Maybe most interestingly there, as he said, Shedeur and Shiloh were going to come out in the same class. And that maps with something I've been told, which is Deion's going to stay in Colorado for as long as Shedeur and Justin Hunter are there. And it makes sense if Shedeur stays another season, so he and Shiloh go to the pro the same year, and Travis Hunter would be draft eligible next year as well as a junior. So it would make sense for Deion to spend next year in Boulder when Shedeur and Travis Hunter are gone. What I've been told the whispers are, and I told you this weeks ago, are that Deion, there's an eventuality that he's going to be in the Southeastern Conference. Florida, I mean, could you imagine after next season if it continues to go south with Napier? You don't think Florida would love to rub dirt in Florida State's eyes by hiring Deion to Gainesville when Florida State could have hired him? A&M, although that may seem like a weird fit, depending on what happens with Jimbo, if it's this year, next, whatever, A&M could be a possibility. And don't rule out the possibility of Tuscaloosa. Nick and Deion do the Matt Flack commercials together, y'all. Don't think Nick wouldn't vouch for him. He could certainly recruit. You know that's the case. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We're heading up to Minnesota. Tatum Everett joins us next to get a preview of the Vikings. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find them. Agent225.com. Tell you that every day. Agent225.com. Remember, this is the #1 real estate month in the year in our market. It's November. Because if you want to be in your new home for the new year, if you want to be in your new home for the holidays, man, you better get cracking now. And who better to call than the realtor that sells more homes than anyone? Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. You know, Darren's got great social media. He gives buyers and sellers great tips there, but most importantly, remember, Darren has his guaranteed sale program. To learn more, call him today, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating Ram Power Days with $15,000 off MSRP on new 23 1500 trucks, $15,000 off, and a 1 million mile warranty. Plus, we'll pay your trade-off regardless of what you owe. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The best.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Keeping that same mindset, right? Like trying to uncover every single stone, doing basically a research project every single week to try to get up to speed on the offense and, generate some manufacturer reps I would have missed from camp and OTAs and get on the same page with everyone to keep the offense rolling in the right direction.
Joshua Dobbs is absurdly smart. It's almost ridiculous how absurdly smart he is. Remember interviewing him at SEC Media Days when he was there with Tennessee? He's gone on to do internships like at NASA. He's like literally a rocket scientist. I might have made that part up, but he's done stuff with NASA, I know. Tatum Everett, LSU alum. She's the content manager for the Minnesota Vikings. Go to @Vikings. All that stuff there is her. So glad to have Tatum join us here, talk a little bit about the Vikings and what's going on up there. How are you, friend? Wait, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. You got to unmute. I don't hear you. I don't hear Tatum. All right, let's see if we can figure that out, and then we'll roll back. I don't know why I don't hear. All right. Talk to her. Could you make sure that we get her cleared there? Okay. and then we'll come
Hold
back.
on, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I can hear you. Hold on.
We good? All right, let's try it again.
Is this better?
Hey, there you are.
Whoa!
Did you forget to unmute
Kinda
yourself?
like our game. We just, I don't. Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure my husband would love to know how to mute me sometimes. So.
I think every man listening to us right now just went, "Holy crap! Can I co-sign right there?" Hey, what was last week like? I mean, put this into perspective for us. Tatum, like, here comes Josh Dobbs on Tuesday, and then you're gonna go play and win the game on Sunday in Atlanta.
Honestly, Matt, I do not know how to describe Sunday. And I have asked so many players and coaches to do the same, and they just are like, I don't know. I mean, I literally talked to our center, Garrett Bradbury, today. He worked with Kirk, then Jaron Hall, then Josh Dobbs in a matter of 8 days in 2 games. And somehow he was able to know their cadences, to know the differences between the two. I mean, there are basically 2 new quarterbacks for him. He had worked with Kirk Cousins for 5 seasons. To be able to pull off what they did on Sunday says so much about this team. Garrett Bradbury is our center. He also told me, during warmups, I should have said, I looked at one of our guys and I was like, maybe we should practice, do a snap with Josh just in case something happens. He had never taken a snap with him before. And he goes, no, there's not really time for that. So they just kind of were learning on the fly is what he called it. So for this offensive line to only have 1 false start in that game for 4 yards, only 1 penalty in the game for the team as a whole is just insane, thinking about the way that this season started for the Vikings. It's almost like I don't know how to describe it. It was crazy the way everything was pulled off. Josh didn't know a play, didn't take a snap at practice. He was only on the scout team. Wow. So that's how they knew his cadence was different. I mean, it is really remarkable what they did.
That's a good reason why, despite throwing for under 200 yards, he was NFC Offensive Player of the Week. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if it's totally unprecedented, but it's got to be close to completely unprecedented to see that unfold. Go ahead.
It probably honestly is. I mean, he said that it was like if you're taking AP Spanish and then, in 5 days you have to take the AP French exam. And you have to be able to so he knows the plays, he knows what he's doing, but it's completely different words and phrases. And coach was in there mapping out plays for him. They were in his ear in that 2-minute drill at the end of the game going, okay, this is your out route. This is your X receiver. This is this. And they're telling him where to go. And then the wide receivers and the tight ends would finish off what Josh would say in the huddle. Wow. And then the O-line would handle the protections and make sure that was all in place. And it didn't matter if they were on the right page. Garrett told me as long as we were on the wrong page together, that was okay. I mean, I'm telling you, there are so many stories like that are coming out this week that it is just, I don't think it has been done like this before.
So has it gotten better this week, or to what degree has it gotten better this week?
Yeah, they haven't really had a full practice this week. Obviously, they watched the tape on Monday. Tuesday's an off day. Today, they just had a walkthrough. So I saw them out in the practice field. It was just a lot of the quarterbacks working together out there when I was out there. And I was talking to a coach today who told me, it will be a lot harder for him this week. You thought last week was hard. This week could be even harder because they will be throwing more at him. He's going to have to actually know his stuff, and he knows it's his job now. So I think there's a little bit more pressure in that situation per se. But, I mean, this team has to feel good about where they're at. I think what was missing last year during all those 11-0 one-score games was a good defense that lifted up the offense. And that's what we have right now is a defense who, no matter what happened in the game last week, they kept the team in it. They were able to shut down the Falcons, which, I mean, I'm sure you guys know it's really not super, super hard, but definitely I got to take my shots where I can, being a Saints fan growing up. But yeah, I mean, it's the defense is playing so well right now, and it really is a huge lift to this offense, who is still obviously have a lot of key pieces out. I mean, Matt, our starting left tackle did not play in this game. Sunday morning, he's a late scratch. He's considered right now from Pro Football Focus the highest rated offensive lineman in the league. He's out. A guy that comes in, he's a 10-year veteran, David Quessenberry. You probably have never heard of him.
No,
he gets in the game, plays the Okay, plays in the game the entire time. Again, no false starts. Perfect offensive performance penalty-wise. He plays the entire game at left tackle. He found out Sunday morning.
That's bizarre. And by the way, Falcons digs are always welcome and encouraged here. So fire away whenever you got them. I mean, we can make this a full-on just crap on the Falcons party.
I know, right?
I'm good with that. But by the way, Tatum, I hate the Vikings as well because of the Saints and Vikings postseason history. So, my Saints fandom generally is also influenced by who I hate based on who beat the Saints for many years throughout the playoffs, which includes the Philadelphia Eagles, the Vikings in 1987, the first time the Saints ever made the playoffs. I mean, I could go down the list. And then recently with, of course, the Minneapolis Miracle and then Kyle Rudolph pushing off and not getting called for it. I mean, I hate y'all. I hate y'all very much. So I don't want good
totally
things
understandable. Look, I lived in Louisiana my whole life. I totally get it. I understand where it comes from. I would say that they feel the same way about the Saints, especially after 2009. I think that it didn't matter how many how many times they stopped the Saints. I think it was 2 times in the last 3 seasons during that final run with Drew Brees.
Yep.
It didn't matter how many times they were able to beat the Saints. They are still salty about 2009 and what happened in the championship game there at the Superdome, which I was actually at that game. But yeah, the hatred is mutual, which is why I think it's always fun to get these two teams together, because it's I feel like it's a rivalry that not many people outside of these two fan bases know about, unless you're in it.
Yeah. So if Vikings fans are still salty about 2009, then fine, good. We got that one, the one that mattered the most. Tatum Everett's our guest. LSU alum, noted Saints fan, behind enemy lines. She works for the Vikings now. She's on Twitter at Tatum Everett. Y'all give her a follow. Speaking of LSU.
Oh, come on, Matt. I'm trying to keep my job. You can't say I'm a Saints fan.
You just said you were at the NFC Championship game in 2009. You lived in Louisiana your whole life, and you grew up a Saints fan. I mean, those are your words.
Yeah.
We could roll back the tape here, Tatum. You know what I mean? But if you need a job, I'll get you a job with the Saints.
No, that's okay. I don't need to go progressive here. I've got it.
Let's get you a job with the Saints, all right? Let's do that. Let's get you out of Minnesota and get you back with the good guys.
There you go.
Give us an update on Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I saw JJ last week at the practice facility working with our trainers in the end zone during some walkthroughs. He's been such a great teammate during this time, too. I mean, he looks great out there. They have activated him off of injured reserve, so he's out at practice, which is awesome. The timeline is still uncertain. He will not be in the game on Sunday. Kevin O'Connell called it a little aggressive to be putting him back out there this week. The Vikings have a week 13 bye, so there's obviously 2 games in between then. So I don't know if he'll be out there in those 2 games, but I'm sure the quickest he can get out there would be the best for us, obviously. It's kind of funny, though, that the Vikings are 4-0 without JJ after the 1-4 start. So that's always going to kind of blow your mind a little bit when you hear that, just thinking that getting your number 1 player back in there would be so key. And I do think that how the Vikings are doing is going to be a big factor in that too, because he's going to want to be a part of that and get back into it, and knowing that this season means something, because it does right now. The Vikings have managed to play their way back into the playoff picture, and obviously a Destrehan kid, so I always root for him. And he's been really rooting on everyone. He travels to all the games. He's on the sideline cheering everyone on. I think he's been taking his job as an LSU captain. That was good.
Yeah!
As a Vikings captain. I think he takes his job as a Vikings captain really seriously. First year as the captain, and he really he's been coaching up his guys in the locker room, because there have been a lot of names that have either played a huge part in this 4-game win streak who you may not have heard. They're not really household names because they've had to step up in his absence.
I hope all of your bosses are listening over your shoulder. You just keep making all the. You're just longing to come home, Tatum. We know you're just stuck up there in the frozen Midwest in Minnesota.
Hey, it's only 50 degrees this week. It's not too shabby. 50 to 40 degrees.
You said 50 or 15?
50. Yeah, we had snow, but then the heat came back, melted the snow, and now we're good. So
I got 2 more things. One, what's the general vibe considering the injuries, man? First Jefferson, then Cousins goes down. Yeah. You got to feel there went the season. But here the Vikings are at 5-4 and maybe a little bit of renewed confidence after last week. So give me a vibe check.
Yeah, God, I honestly I don't know how they do it. I really don't. They managed to lose these key pieces. After JJ goes out, he was, 15 targets a game. Like, how do you replace that? It's the lifesaver for Kirk in drives. He's the reason that we had so many one-score victories last year. And to have that happen was a huge blow. And then I can't describe enough the fact the locker room after the Packers win. So it's a huge deal for Vikings to go into Lambeau Field and handle the Packers. They're not just beating them. They beat them handily, but they lose their quarterback in the process. And that locker room was probably the most miserable looking locker room I've seen, even after some of our losses, which is crazy to say because you could just feel how deflated this team was when Kirk went out. He's one of the most durable quarterbacks in the league. And for him to not be there is a huge deal as he was playing some of his best football of his career. Kevin O'Connell is a big culture guy. I know people say that a lot, but I feel like they walk the talk here. And they're constantly talking about your response. How do you respond to this adversity? How do you go and move past this? It's something that the players talk about consistently and constantly. And I think that just really has kind of become second nature for a lot of these guys. So Kirk goes down, they get Jaren Hall ready. They make the trade for Josh Dobbs. He goes in the game. You didn't have your starting left tackle. Then your running back 2 gets an Achilles injury. Then your wide receiver 2 has a concussion in the game and he's out. It was just blow after blow. And somehow someone always seems to step up. The vibes here is that this team still has a ton of belief. And I don't know if they'll ever not believe unless, they started off 0-3. 1-4, and now they're still in the playoff picture. I don't know how they do it, but it's something that I have to definitely attribute to the coaching staff and these players.
All right, last thing for you, Tatum. Give me a key for Sunday. What's the key matchup that we're going to keep an eye on Sunday against the Saints?
I really think it's going to be the Saints up front against Jaren Hall. Josh Dobbs. So many quarterback names to remember for me. It's just been kind of like it's been a shuffle. It's been a bit of a carousel. I think it's going to be Dobbs and the ability, I think it'll be very interesting because for the Saints, they don't really know what they'll do with Dobbs yet because they don't really have tape on him from what the Vikings plan on doing with him. So I think that's going to be really, really key. I think if the Saints are able to force turnovers, that will really give them the advantage. This team seems, they seem to have fixed their turnover problem for the most part, but, it's going to be a crazy crowd. It's going to be very loud and obnoxious. And I do think that being in the favor of the Vikings in that sense gives them a bit of a home field advantage. But for me, it all lays on the shoulders of Josh Dobbs because I have a lot of faith in this defense to be able to get the job done. They're flying around. They're having fun. They really love playing in Brian Flores' system. So my biggest question mark is Joshua Dobbs, the new starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings.
Tatum Everett on Twitter at Tatum Everett, Louisiana native, LSU alum, noted Saints and LSU homer, just miserably stuck working for the Minnesota Vikings right now, but good enough to spend some time with
clearly
us.
Hating my life, right?
Tatum, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt. See ya.
All right, be well. It's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Come back. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. We got J-Boy with us 45 minutes from right now. Jake Crain from Crain and Company. We do a little overrated, underrated, some Tigers in the pros. Stick around. A lot of fun. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Hey, I know I keep reminding you, but make sure you get to Rouse's, the website, Rouse's.com. Or on their Facebook page or any of the social media, one of the really great initiatives that Rouse's is putting forward here throughout the remainder of this year is they're trying to stock up all the food banks for the communities they serve. So at Rouse's, they're calling it forgive me, I just lost my spot. But Rouse's is going to all of the different markets that they serve, from Lake Charles all the way to Orange Beach, Alabama. And they're helping fill up all the local food banks. They're calling it Tackle Hunger, fill the food bank. And if you go to the website, you'll see the dates for all of the specific locations. It's also there on Facebook as well. So do your part. Let's help feed the hungry in our communities this Thanksgiving with the help of Rouse's.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lock in the low rate of 3.99% on a Toyota Highlander. That's right, 3.99%. Lock in your low rate while you still can. At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade, time to slip away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me, like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
His name was Crain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Remember, you can always text the show, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Matt French said, hey, Matt, every time you say playoffs, the Jim Mora playoffs sounder should play. I'm always open to ideas. Always open to creative ideas. Fun part about radio. That feels like that could be excessive. Because we do talk about playoffs in basically every sport, right? And we say that pretty consistently. I feel like that would probably get to be a little much. Feedback?
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask. Like, since it's Jim Moore and it's football, would it just be for, like, the NFL playoffs, or do we have to do it for everything? Because, I mean there's the college football playoff, the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball.
And when you program yourself to expect it, like with Todd Peterson, then it's a real challenge. I just heard you have to hit the mic.
Ted Peterson.
You thought I did too Paulie.
Well, the mic was in my way there.
I did too Paulie. It's all you got to reach for. Got him. Got him.
Got him.
Did Paulie just say that?
He did. And me. We both did.
Paulie with a Gotti.
Chorus line.
Bringing Paulie out of his shell over there. Tell you what. When it's an opportunity to razz on Muse, Paulie never misses an opportunity, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, Paulie, you know why he hit his mic right there?
Why's that?
Well, because he was seeing 3 of them. It's 4:39.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Dizzy, and he just hit the wrong one. Boom. Hey, if you want to go on a date with Muso, you can do it. The Matchler. Do we have Matchler music? I need you to cue me. All right, I need you to have a Matchler bed.
Yeah.
I need a Matchler bed ready to go for when we go to Matchler. I am very excited. My biggest concern with Matchler was that we would end up not having any entries.
Sounds so bad when you say it that way.
Well, Muse, let's be honest about what this is, okay? We're asking people to go on a blind date with a guy on the radio to go to an Aqua concert, and that's just a little weird. Am I right? This whole thing is a little weird. Yeah?
I mean, yeah, a little
but
bit.
It's all on how you sell it. Muso, talented young guy. You get to not only go to the Aqua concert, you're at a VIP table.
About that.
Shout out to our friends at Live Nation there at the Fillmore for coming up big time. Our friend Michelle Southern, who rocks, hooked us up there. We're going to get you dinner in NOLA. Our friends at 7-3 Distilling are taking care of the ride.
I'm really excited about that, actually.
Tricked out Sprinter van. Excited about that.
Really excited about that.
Take you down to dinner. Chatted earlier today with Burke Harriman. Confirmed flowers for your date.
Yep.
Taken care of courtesy the original Harriman's florist. Shout out to Burke and the original Harriman's right there on Government Street. Whenever it's holidays and I send flowers to Erica, always holler at Burke. I guess I'm at a point in my life, Muse, where I have a florist.
Yeah, there you go.
Burke's my florist.
Sure, he's your
Who's
florist.
that guy? That's my florist. You know, Muse, when you marry this young lady, maybe one day you'll have a florist.
Maybe one day.
Probably be Burke. And shout out to Will over at Haspel. Confirmed.
Yeah, man.
Haspel is taking care of Muse's fit
They
for
are.
the date.
Got the fit locked up. I'm already kind of looking at the website over here.
How about
Getting
that?
ideas.
Oh, is that why you're not paying attention to the show at all? Because you're looking at Haspel's website to get your fit for the date.
Well, right there, I was actually also looking for a commercial copy that you asked me to find. But yeah, man, excited for the fit. Really am.
Man, I'm excited.
It's going to be good.
So if you would like to go on a date with Muse, if you're a young lady, or if you know a young lady who might be interested, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And if nothing else, you're going to have a great story to tell. So go to 1045ESPN.com. You'll see right there on the homepage, there's the Matchler link. If you want to enter, it's easy. Muse came up with a short questionnaire.
I think it was like 10 questions.
I've read they sent me some of the entries already.
Okay.
And I'm so happy with the entries.
That's good.
The ladies that have taken the time, they're taking it really seriously.
It's encouraging.
Some of them seem really fun. Like I'm serious. Like you're getting a good pool here to choose from. Like I'm very excited about this.
I am too. That's really good news, actually.
We're gonna find you the first Mrs. Matthew Muso.
The only.
The next.
The only.
The original.
The only.
Maybe.
The only.
We'll see. It's the Matchler. Oh, we're picking next Friday, by the way.
Yeah.
We're picking the winner Friday, a week from Friday. The date isn't until the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday the 26th at the Fillmore in New Orleans. But again, everything's taken care of. But we're picking Friday because then it's Thanksgiving week, and we've got to make sure that she has time to make plans and gets her outfit ready. That's what we should do. We should get a boutique to handle her outfit.
We should.
Too.
We should do that.
Anybody know any women's boutiques that would handle the fit for our female winner? For the winner, not the female, just for the winner. If you know someone who owns a boutique who might be willing to take care of the outfit for our winner, would love to include you in the promotion as well.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be really good.
Let's do that.
That'd be really good.
It's the Matchler.
Since there's a whole week, it was like, are we supposed to talk to each other during this week? Or
No!
All right.
This will be a grand reveal.
All right.
A grand reveal.
Grand.
We're going to have the whole camera crew set up to follow you around the whole night, too.
No, we're not.
We got to have pictures.
That's not happening.
We got to have pictures. We have to have pictures. I need you to take some pictures.
I can take some pictures. We don't need chaperones and folks following us around all night. That's weird. That's weird.
But that's what happens on The Bachelor.
But this is The Bachelor. This is different.
If it's good enough for The Bachelor, it's good enough for The Bachelor.
No.
Muse, there's one that I read last night that I'm hoping you pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to start influencing the decision with that?
I haven't even told you who it is.
Have I? You haven't.
I have not. I've not even told you anything about, you even asked me that person's age and I didn't reveal it to you because I didn't want you to go look at the entry, see and realize who it was.
Yeah.
So I've not told you a single thing.
I'm that person too. I'm the one who always would like try to find the Christmas presents or something like that. So yeah, I would do that.
See, if I was listening and I was considering entering and I heard that, I would not enter.
That's not a great reason to not enter. You could come up with something better than that, I'm sure.
No, that works. Works for me.
I wonder if this is actually the Bachelor theme. Just been playing it.
I think it works great.
Okay.
I think it sounds wonderful. And if it's not the Bachelor theme, you know what it is now? It is the Bachelor theme.
Yeah.
And you have to say it like that. All right, it's after further review. I had intended to do overrated, underrated there, but I was way more excited to talk about The Bachelor. Look at Paulie. Paulie, what are you smiling at?
I like it.
I couldn't even see your face, but I could tell you were smiling from your eyes. Like the screen, the computer screen does like this to Paulie from my vantage point, so I can only see your eyes. I mean, I could tell you were smiling so big that I could tell from your eyes that you were smiling.
It fits the whole vibe we're going with.
The Bachelor. Okay. Let's break. We'll do Tigers and the Pros. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Jake Crain's with us in 30 minutes from right now. There are some... Saw earlier today some NFL hot seat coaching rankings, and Dennis Allen's spot, he is on the list, by the way, but his spot on this list I think might interest you. We'll get to that in 15 minutes. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by The Bachelor. Hey, we're brought to you by Glow Resources, where they're complete employer solutions. So maybe Glow Resources could help find Muso a date. Now, they're not going to do that. But if you need an employee for your business, Glow Resources can help. GlowResources.com, G-L-O, GlowResources.com. And listen, I know so many of you are here in Baton Rouge, but even if you're listening outside of Baton Rouge, wherever you may be, they have offices in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Miami, Houston, all over Orlando, and they place employees at different jobs and businesses all over the world. So don't be pigeonholed by geography. Listen, hiring right now, the hiring market has been so tough since COVID. If your business has struggled with that, let Glow Resources help. They are complete employer solutions. Learn more at glowresources.com. glowresources.com.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating Ram Power Days with $15,000 off MSRP on new 23 1500 trucks, $15,000 off, and a 1 million mile warranty. Plus, we'll pay your trade-off regardless of what you owe. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2, presented by Pluckers. Remember, Pluckers trivia tonight. We'll get to some questions from Muse, who went improbably 3-0 last week. Muse, we got to make sure that we include on the match list that your date knows that you are an anime savant.
That's not
Matthew
true,
Musso, lover of all things anime.
That's not true, though.
Never gets anything right on trivia. Goes 3-0 on Anime Week. Paulie, is this true? 100%
that
true.
part's true. Just,
Matthew Musso,
I know nothing about
lover of
anime.
all things anime. Make sure you include that when you apply to be a date on The Matchler. Okay, Muse, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Got an update.
An update on what?
And maybe Lee Michaels can help with the diamond ring whenever
There
you
you go.
propose on The Matcher. Erica just texted me. She wants to help pick.
I thought we went over this already then.
Yeah, by the way, I agree with you. Yeah, no.
I thought we invoked guy code there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, Erica, you're out. You're out.
All right, Tigers are the pros.
Yeah, Erica's out. Completely out. You're right.
Things are often debated, and those debates can normally get really heated. One of those is who gets to claim Joe Burrow. And oftentimes, when you don't have an answer, you should go straight to the source themselves. Today in Cincinnati, Joe Burrow was asked that question. Does Ohio State get to claim him as a football alum? Here it is, straight from the horse's mouth. Take it away, Joey B.
Does Ohio State claim you as a quarterback in the NFL? Should they?
No, you have to ask them.
Do you feel like they should?
I always say I went to school at Ohio State and I played football at LSU. That's how I think about it.
It's over. Ohio State can no longer claim Joe Burrow. He said it right there. He went to school at Ohio State. He played football at LSU. He wears the LSU wristband, which he kind of needs a new one. I noticed that on Sunday Night Football. It was a little faded. Can we get our guy a new wristband? Buckeye tears, Matt. That's what we're getting right now.
I just feel like you wasted 2 minutes.
Why?
Because
that's big news. Yes, it is.
It's not a debate at all.
Plenty of people try and debate that. It's the same thing with Jalen Hurts.
There's literally nobody that tries to debate that.
Plenty of Ohio State fans debate that.
Then it's not a debate because it's only one side.
Well, they debate it with LSU.
Nope.
Yeah, they do. They
That's
do, and they
not
can't
in
anymore.
any way newsworthy.
Because he said it himself from the horse's mouth.
Do you have anything else? Because you're wasting time on the show
I was
right
going to
now.
get into Justin
Okay.
Jefferson
All right, go.
here as well.
Go. Yeah, that's not a debate.
Because we all know where he
Guy
went
won the
to.
Heisman at LSU. It's not a debate. Go.
We know where Jets went to school, too.
Yeah, that's
He was activated off of IR. Told you that yesterday that he was today. Of course, that's the question now. Can he play this Sunday against the New Orleans Saints? Well, his head coach, Kevin O'Connell, today said that might be a tad aggressive. So, looks like Jets won't be able to play in his homecoming here to the Dome.
Boy.
Yeah.
It's not in the Dome.
That's right. They're in Minnesota. They were in
Muse.
They were in London. Where were they? No, London
Snap
last
out
year.
of it, Muse.
Look, man.
They were in Atlanta last week.
No, I'm talking about the Saints-Vikings game. It was in London last year. That's what I was saying.
Come on, Muse.
Yeah. But the Saints were the home team for that. That's
hurry
why I was
up.
confused.
You're killing the clock. Let's go.
Jets isn't going to play this weekend. That's Tigers in the pros.
So all you had was a crappy Joe Burrow sounder that Justin Jefferson isn't playing?
So the NBA had nothing last night. Major League Baseball's in its offseason. There was obviously no NFL football, and there's no NBA G League right now either.
I would have rather you just said, hey, I got worthless sound from Joey B and Jets isn't playing, and we could have moved on. Instead, you wasted 4 minutes. Oh, all right. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, if you're thinking of popping the question, Lee Michaels. Nobody has a better selection of gorgeous diamonds than Lee Michaels, where you always, always, always get the Lee Michaels experience. Thrill her with a gift in the red box this Christmas under the tree. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. Okay, it is, after further review, hour number 3 is coming straight up. When we come back after the top of the hour, we'll reset what Brian Kelly said today on the SEC Coaches Teleconference. He did give an update on Jayden Daniels. Also talked a little bit about Jayden's Heisman candidacy. You'll hear that. And a very interesting NFL hot seat conversation with coaches. Dennis Allen is on the list, but where he falls on the list did interest me relative to what the Saints' projections are. I'll explain when we come back. You're going to want to see this. And Jake Crain in about 20 minutes from right now, of course, from Crain & Company. We're thrilled to have you aboard with us here. Muse and Paulie are along with us. We got 1 hour to go and thrilled to have you for the ride. It's AFR, hour number 3, coming up right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
Hey, remember, this coming Monday, the 13th, is the Bubbles, Bourbon, and Best Vision Ever event at the Williamson Eye Center. Go to williamsoneye.com. Log on to the website, williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com. When you go to the website, right on the homepage, the first thing that's going to pop up is the Bubbles, Bourbon, and Best Vision Ever flyer. So you'll see it right there. It's got all the information. This coming Monday, 5:30 to 7:30 at the Williamson Eye Center location on Suma. That's the one right in front of the Baton Rouge General on Bluebonnet. Somebody is going to win an EVO ICL procedure free. This is an alternative to LASIK for people who are nearsighted. Come, it's very informal. Drink some champagne, sip some bourbon, have some food, meet Dr. Blake Williamson and their awesome staff. I'll be there after the show. Jimmy Ott will be there. Get some info about refractive procedure. And so maybe you'll win a free EVO ICL procedure, but you got to sign up. WilliamsonEye.com.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi, breaking news from ESPN's Tom Van Haren and Adam Rittenberg. Michigan has responded to the Big Ten notice of disciplinary action over allegations of sign stealing and off-campus scouting. Any potential discipline from the Big Ten not expected until tomorrow. Potential penalties most likely would focus on football coach Jim Harbaugh. Any Harbaugh suspension would be brief, believes Paul Feinbaum show host Paul Feinbaum.
I think more than anything, the Big Ten wants to send a message, but it also doesn't want to completely disembowel or disrupt the football season. So I think they can have it both ways by suspending him for 2 games. And I think it would have more bite to get him out of the Penn State game, even though he's already put in the game plan.
Paul Feinbaum on Carlin versus Joe. The Angels are hiring Braves third base coach Ron Washington as their new manager. He has connections to Angels GM Perry Manassian from his time in Atlanta, as well as when he was manager of the Rangers. Bears rookie QB Tyson Bagent starts again in place of the injured Justin Fields tomorrow against the Panthers.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yeah.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Well, it's a hump day, Mike.
Hump day.
Jayden Daniels.
It's hump day.
Worked out this morning.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Non-contact practice today.
Hump day.
If all goes well, he'll be a full participant tomorrow.
It's hump day.
And Florida will be screwed.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Take that, Gators.
Hump day.
Tatum Everett was here last hour.
It's hump day.
She works for the Minnesota Vikings.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
But as a born and bred Saints fan,
Hump day.
don't tell nobody else.
It's
It's hump day.
J-Boy in 15 minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Pluckers trivia later this hour.
Hump day.
No Russ Mitchell.
It's hump day.
However.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell in studio Friday.
Hump day.
That's right. Coming on in.
It's hump day.
It's going to be in that number in Tiger Stadium on Saturday.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ also told me he plans on leaving early to get to Whiskey and Wine with me and T-Bob.
Hump day.
He said, I want to curse and be myself.
It's hump day.
Like, as if what Russ Mitchell is on this show isn't himself already.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Give him alcohol and a live stream to say and do what he wants.
Hump day.
Make sure y'all bring an extra headset.
That'll be good. There isn't one in the kit?
No, there's only 2 in that one.
Okay. Hey, Muse, make sure there's an extra headset in that kit, please.
That's an Alondra job.
I just assigned it to you. All right, it's after further review. Thank you for being here with us. We will get to Jake Crain a little more than 10 minutes from right now. Congrats are in order to Joshua Dobbs, the Minnesota Vikings quarterback, whom the Saints will face this weekend. He was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, and my goodness, I can't imagine anyone being more deserving, despite the fact that he was 20 of 30 for 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. It's not like those numbers are going to wow you, but the man was traded to Minnesota 5 days before that game. He took no practice snaps with the offense. None. Tatum Everett, who works for the Minnesota Vikings as their content creator, was on this show an hour ago and said Josh Dobbs last week took no snaps. He's literally standing on the sideline during the game when Jaron Hall got hurt, and he's going over his cadence with the offensive linemen because they've never heard his cadence or taken a snap from him. So the center, Bradbury, is sitting there snapping the football. All the other offensive linemen are standing around in a semicircle listening to his cadence, so they get it. And all he does is go 20 of 30 for 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and runs for 66 yards and an 18-yard touchdown. It's not just the numbers. It's kind of all the scenario and all things encompassing to lead that comeback on the road, which was incredible. So congrats to Joshua Dobbs. Completely deserving of NFC Player of the Week honors. The the first injury report of the week for Saints and Vikings is out as well. So let me run through this very quickly. For the New Orleans Saints, here are your DNPs. It was Kendre Miller and Isaiah Foskey. So the 2 rookies that were injured on Sunday against the Bears. Miller with the ankle, Foskey with the quad. Both did not practice on Wednesday. Jimmy Graham and Ryan Ramczyk each had their rest day, so they were officially listed as limited. And the others who have had injuries, Ty Summers, Demario Davis, Adam Prentice, all full participants. Prentice designated to return from IR, which is great news. As for the Minnesota Vikings, their injury list decidedly longer. Of greatest note, of course, is Justin Jefferson, who has been designated to return from IR. They've opened that 21-day window. He was a limited participant in practice on Wednesday. However, it is unlikely that Justin Jefferson plays against the Saints on Sunday, which is certainly great news for the New Orleans Saints. Quarterback Jaron Hall, defensive lineman Dean Lowry, wide receiver KJ Osborne, all did not practice on Wednesday. There was a long list of other players that are injured, including their starting offensive tackle, Christian Darrisaw, who was limited. TJ Hawkinson with the rib injury was limited. So the Minnesota Vikings are a team that is battling the injury bug in a bad way. Kirk Cousins is done for the year. Cam Akers is done for the year. Hawkinson's got a rib injury. Jefferson's just coming off of IR. Darrisaw left the game and is limited right now. So the Saints are catching the Vikings at a really good point in the season. Before the year, we looked at who the Saints were going to play, and the 3 best quarterbacks the Saints were going to play, there was generally consensus was you're going to face Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff. And those are the 3 best quarterbacks you're going to face all year. You avoid all the top-tier guys, And those are the three sort of in that next tier you were going to face. And now you're not going to face Cousins. Instead, you're going to face Joshua Dobbs, who's been there a minute and a half. So Saints catch a break. We'll see if they can go up to Minnesota and get it done. All right, it's after further review. I want to come to this hot seat story in just a quick second. Of course, we're brought to you by DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NBA. The NBA season is in full swing. If you want to bet on the NBA, the DraftKings Sportsbook app has a great deal for new customers. It works like this. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. One word, smush it together. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Make a $5 NBA bet. Any NBA bet. You want to live bet a game? Do it. You want to bet a money line? You want to bet the line? The spread? You want to bet the total? Futures bets, odds, whatever. It's all there. Make a $5 NBA bet, and they'll give you $200 in bonus bets instantly at the DraftKings Sportsbook. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You got college football tonight. Pels are back on the floor tonight against Minnesota, up in Minnesota. So there's a smorgasbord of things that you can bet on. Make sure you do it at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. DraftKings, the crown is yours. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana, select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. All right, y'all. CBSSports.com has their updated 2023 hot seat rankings for NFL coaches. Crazy. Number one on the list is Matt Eberflus. I guess that's not too crazy. The Bears aren't very good, and I only say it's crazy because you drafted Justin Fields, who doesn't really fit what Matt Eberflus wants to do, and so you're likely going to have to draft another quarterback now. Ron Rivera of the Commanders, they have number 2, and that's a foregone conclusion. I think that should actually be number 1 because when they traded Montez Sweat, I mean, what they did at the deadline, the fire sale there, tells you exactly what they're thinking, and that's, I mean, they're moving on from Ron Rivera. His days are numbered. Todd Bowles, number 3, and I find that interesting, obviously, because that's in the NFC South, and at 3-5, considering the fact that they are tanking, and yes, despite their start, they are tanking, as evidenced by what they're doing at their quarterback position with Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask, and not even trying to bring a competent quarterback in there to win. They're tanking. So they'll probably draft a quarterback and have a new head coach there as well. Brandon Staley, I would probably have number 2 on this list after Ron Rivera. They got Brandon Staley of the Chargers, number 4. And what's maybe most interesting here is as you continue to go along through this list, what you see is, well, you're already through 4 and you haven't gotten to Dennis Allen. They got Bill Belichick at 5, Arthur Smith of the Falcons at 6. That's 2 NFC South coaches already in the top 6. Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals, 7. Frank Reich of the Panthers, 8. Would the Panthers really move on to Frank Reich after 1 season? That would be hard to believe, especially since they just drafted their franchise quarterback in Bryce Young. But 1 spot after Reich at 8 is Dennis Allen at number 9. So the entire NFC South coaching staff, all of the coaches in the NFC South are on this list. And Dennis Allen is the lowest among all of them, which is a little crazy considering what we thought coming into this year. But they write, endorsed by longtime head coach Sean Payton, and in his second stint with the team, Allen's ties to ownership may be too strong for an exit after 2 years, and he's once again shepherding a game-changing defense. But his curious game day decision-making has often been masked by the middling competition of the NFC South division. That's 100% right. Dennis Allen's a bad coach. He's got a bad offensive coordinator. He's got a mid-tier quarterback. But he's in an awful division. In an awful division with the second easiest schedule in the NFL behind only the Atlanta Falcons. So you're going to win more games than you probably should. For what it's worth, Vegas, their updated win total on the New Orleans Saints is 9.5. Vegas is projecting the Saints to either win 9 or 10 games. If the Saints win 9 or 10 games, they're going to win this division. That is going to be enough to win the NFC South and make the playoffs. When the Saints make the playoffs, Dennis Allen's not getting fired. To fire Dennis Allen, you would have to see this thing fall apart. And because of who you play, I'm not sure I see that happening. So, for better or worse, probably for worse, the Saints are going to retain Dennis Allen after this year. Okay, it's after further review. Quick break. We'll come back, talk a little college football with our guy J-Boy. Jake Crain from Crain & Company's up next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, title sponsor of our Wednesday shows all throughout the year. Get them by either Pluckers location. Of course, Wednesday is an awesome night to get by Pluckers because at both Pluckers locations, it's trivia. 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. Say it again, 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. It's live action trivia. Get your team together. No limit on the number of players on your team. Collaborate. Have a great time. Answer questions. Win Pluckers gift cards, Amazon gift cards, prizes from other great local retailers. And remember, every team that goes to Pluckers Trivia, you get to spin the prize wheel to win something. So even if you don't win a round, everybody's going to win something. Maybe it's free food from Pluckers. It's Pluckers. Trivia every Wednesday, Nicholson and Bluebonnet. Dine and carry out or delivery with 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. Got the Pels on TV tonight, full NBA slate, a little college football on TV tonight. Get on by and watch it all. Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we're featuring 2023 Toyota Tundras with $2,000 bonus cash. $2,000 bonus cash offer on Toyota Tundras. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded. Because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Given his known history of prank calling coaches' radio shows, what are the odds that Jake Crain is actually Tyler from Spartanburg? Or should I say Tyler from Spartanburg is actually Jake Crain? How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good. It's funny. We actually talked about that on the show today. I've never been more surprised waking up and looking at my phone than when the first text message I read says, "Hey, I think Ed Orgeron said he was going to kill you." Like, just imagine that's what you the amount of things that could mean. And then I listen to the call, somebody saying my name, and then he says he's going to put me in a hole. Like, at that point, like, I almost thought about writing him a letter, like, "Dear Ed, like, this is the real Jake." But no, man, I'm doing great. Every time I come on this show, I instantly want a po' boy.
Man, now I want that for dinner, and I think I'm going to do that. When was the last time you?
I've never eaten a po' boy and been like, man, that sucked.
That's true. Well, Jake, here's the. Okay. You might agree with this. I don't know how many po' boys you've eaten, but
all of them.
The bread is so crucial. Like, there's some places that try to pass off like a hamburger bun as a po' boy, which
it's like slapping God in the face.
That's kind of what it is. Why would you do that?
No, the bread's a big deal. The bread's a huge deal. Especially how well the bread holds everything together. I like mine a little bit crispier, but yeah, you can't go halfway with the bread. You might as well just take the day off.
That's kind of the point. So yeah, I mean, there are some times where, but then you get to the question of, all right, is it actually a po' boy if they're skimping on the bread, right? I mean, then it's probably not really a po' boy. So we're having a different kind of conversation.
That one, I don't know if I'm mentally, spiritually, and emotionally ready to have that conversation yet.
Good. Let's talk college football then. Hey, did you see today that Michigan is now pointing the finger at Ohio State and other schools as well for sharing their signals?
Well, apparently, and David Cohn, we got an inside guy. All right, I just totally gave him away. But apparently, Michigan has been keeping tabs. It's like a break glass if emergency binder of other teams that have their signals and like how they've acquired them. And so they brought it to the Big Ten meeting and was like, "Oh, you're looking at ours. Well, I'm going to show you some of the others." So apparently that's like a real thing. The dossier is what they're calling it. But this is what I said a couple weeks ago. If you keep digging, you're going to find out everybody's guilty. This is the same thing back before NIL when everybody was paying everybody. You want to know why nobody ratted really on anybody? There was very few rats because everybody was doing it. If I'm a recruit and Georgia pays me $100,000 and then I go and let's just say Texas A&M pays me $150,000 and I go to A&M, what's Georgia going to do? Turn me in for them illegally paying me? Like, the further we go down this rabbit hole, you're going to find out your team did it. Isn't that the worst? It's just it's part of it.
Brother, I think my only comment I've made on the Michigan scandal so far is to say I don't care, because if they shine the light on your program, I don't care who your program is. Yes, it doesn't matter who you are. They're going to find something. So.
Oh, yeah. Look, you think you're clean? That's hilarious. The joke used to be, at least we're not paying players. And every single time I was like, listen, I promise you are. I guarantee you are. I know 3 things in my life. One of them is that your team's paying players.
What are the other 2? What are the other 2?
Hello?
Oh, he froze. What are the other 2?
Oh, the other 2?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not in a classified setting to be able to talk about those other things right now. The other one's that Willy Wonka was turning those kids into chocolate.
Jake Crain is with us. He's on Twitter at @JakeCrain_ Crain and Company weekday morning. Subscribe up on the YouTube channel. Give me a reaction to. I hate to ask you this because I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but what transpired in Tuscaloosa on Saturday.
Yeah, you talking about the game or the hit?
The game.
Well, look, I think the game was going exactly like we thought the game was going to go. Back and forth, up and down. I mean, for the last, I would say 4 to 5 weeks, I've been sitting on Crain and Company screaming, look, LSU has the best offense in the country. Not one of the best offense in the country, the best offense in the country, and it's as elite as Alabama is defensively. LSU is going to score. And I'm not a believer in Bama was saving all this stuff with Jalen Milroe. I think they were more trying to protect him from getting hurt. But do you think it's any coincidence that the game that the game where the game plan is tailored most to Jalen Milroe's strength, with quarterback design runs, with more RPO action, with him getting out of the pocket earlier and he was recognizing man coverage and going and being able to use his legs. Is it just a coincidence that happens against the most explosive offense in the country? Is that just a coincidence that happens against a team you're probably going to have to score 40 points to beat, regardless of how good you play on defense? I just think it was a shame that drive was killed by penalties that LSU had in the second half, and that Jayden Daniels went out, because that game was going to go wire to the wire. It was going to be very similar to Alabama and Tennessee from a year ago. Yeah. And I think we got, outside of Jayden Daniels getting hurt, I don't root for anybody to get hurt. It robbed us of a great finish, I think, and obviously the implications it had for LSU. But the over was basically, it was borderline theft.
Bro, I was a guest on a gambling show in Chicago, like at 5 o'clock on Saturday, like an hour and a half before the game. And they were getting me on for the game. And I said, like, this is an ATM. Like, it's automatic.
That in Washington, USC?
It's a cash
Are you kidding
machine.
me?
Like, yeah, I didn't care that the total was 77.
I literally on our live stream bet everything I had on those two bets. And then before I go, I got to tell you about the bet my wife hit, though, Matt. Oh, my God.
You want to do that now, or do you want to wait?
Well, look, whatever you want, man. You're the puppet master here. You just pull my string.
Don't tease
me.
Give it to me.
So Reed, my wife, who really knows nothing about the NFL, hit a 7-leg anytime touchdown scorer parlay on Sunday, won $5,600. And you want to know the best part about the whole thing? The minute she hit it, we were celebrating. I was like, all right, now we got to take some of that and bet it. Give me an anytime touchdown scorer in the Bills-Bengals game. And she goes, give me CeeDee Lamb. That's how much she knows. That's how those are hit. Just to let everybody know out there. But look, I love it. It's great. I knew I married the right woman.
Oh, man. Jake Crain is with us on Twitter at @JakeCrain_. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Crain and Company every weekday morning. Are you sold on Alabama as a national title contender?
Yeah. I mean, I think on any given day they're talented enough, especially with the way their offensive line keeps progressing, to beat anybody in a year where, we have more parity. But I tell you what, I picked Michigan before the year, Matt, and I still like Michigan to win it. And I question, I'm always down to have the conversation of, how good this team is, how good that team is. But people acting like they don't know how good Michigan is after it's basically the same guys from the last 2 years, that same core, especially up front where it matters the most, and pretend like we don't know who Michigan is, does kind of baffle me. I think there's a difference between Georgia having to replace integral pieces and us not knowing who they are, and Michigan basically returning everything to build the Mega Ranger after losing in the playoffs 2 different ways for 2 straight years. I find that part baffling, outside of the rankings, but we talked about that.
Michigan's strength of schedule 111th in the country. That doesn't dissuade you at all?
No, but I mean, Matt, we've seen them do this. We've seen these players before, right? Like we've seen this offensive line. We know who J.J. McCarthy is. We know who Blake Corum is. We know who 75% of this defense is. If I watched you knock out a great boxer or be in a fight with a great boxer, for 2 straight matches, if there's 3 or 4 matches in between, you beat up on guys you're better than. I'm not going to lose any respect for you. I think Michigan's the best team in the country.
I saw him get rolled by TCU.
Man, a crazy game. Well, they used their signs against him, funny enough. I think that was a little bit of 2 things. I mean, I think sometimes we discount because TCU got murdered by Georgia. Turn on the NFL. Go watch the Chargers play. It's basically TCU. I mean, they have a lot of guys. I mean, look at Kendre Miller. Look at all these guys in the league from that team. That was kind of a freak team that was put together that won a lot of one-score games. But I think Michigan overlooked them, man. I think they overlooked them. I think they were arrogant the same way Notre Dame was arrogant going to Louisville up front this year.
Interesting.
Just so happened to be in the playoff.
Louisville's been a tough place to play this year. Louisville's been really good at home. Does Ole Miss have a chance at Georgia?
Yeah, they do, because they can run it laterally and vertically. You look at the offenses that have given Georgia trouble. And look, it's not a great chance, but they're quarterbacks that can run. They're teams that stretch you, on the perimeter in the run game as well to kind of spread you out and then hit you in the middle. Even Peyton Thorne from Auburn. You can go back and look the few times where Georgia has gotten creased a little bit. Brady Cook in Missouri, they did some of it. Ole Miss is one of the best at it, and Lane's one of the best at it, spreading you out. But Ole Miss doesn't turn the ball over. That's the thing. The only thing that I worry about is Georgia in the second half is just dominant. They're top 10 in basically every important category there is on offense and defense. They're number 1 in third down efficiency on offense and defense. I don't care if you're playing Bishop Sycamore and the Little Giants. That's pretty good. I think Ole Miss hangs around, but Georgia, in the end, I think finds a way.
Maybe they'll run the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, look, they should. I'd run it first play, but that's just me.
If you had a Heisman vote, do you have a Heisman vote?
No, but Greg Doyle does. Make that make sense.
You should have a Heisman vote. If you did, who would be your top 3 today?
My top 3 today, I would have Penix 1, I would have Bo Nix 2, and I would have Jayden Daniels still number 3. I would have him number 3. RG3 won it when he went 9-3. I think Jayden Daniels, and obviously a lot of it's depending on his health. If he's able to come back and finish out the year and put up some really crazy numbers, I think there's a chance he should get invited to New York. You look at Quinn Ewers being out. I think it's going to come down to the Pac-12 championship game, in my opinion.
Yeah. RG3 is the best comp. Lamar Jackson is interesting as well. His year at Louisville, but he ran for 1,600 yards that year. But
he was insane.
All right,
he was insane. I think 3's the limit.
Jake Crain and Company. Tell Cone we said hello. So David Cone, not the baseball player David Cone.
Cone. Like he said, he'd never play for the Mets.
Great. Cone is a former Michigan quarterback, a 6'7" dude who was a quarterback under Rich Rod. How does that make sense?
Well, look, he was the state championship winning quarterback in Statesboro for Buzz Busby running the triple option. They used to call him the Galloping Tree. He's like one of those things out of Lord of the Rings that takes those little twins like Pippin and Bilbo or whatever his name is and goes and kills Saruman. Cone was one of them.
This is a conversation that's more suited for T-Bob in the morning.
Oh, I keep forgetting. You don't watch anything except HGTV and the Pioneer Woman and LSU football.
No, it's LSU football and $1 Million Listing. That's what I watch. And Erica's making me watch.
And Frasier.
No.
You seem like a big Frasier guy.
Never watched Frasier, but Erica is making me watch Suits now. So I've watched.
Great show. Great show.
We're when we have time, we dabble a few episodes in here and there. So we're getting caught up on Suits.
Yeah, big Harvey Specter guy. I like the way he handles business.
I'm getting caught up on a show that debuted in 2011, right? Like I'm getting caught up right now on a show that's
time travel.
Yeah, I know. All right, Jake Crain, y'all get to YouTube, subscribe up to the Crain and Company YouTube channel. Weekday mornings, he's on Twitter at Jake Crain _ a.k.a. Tyler from Spartanburg. Thank you, J-Boy.
Hey, man. All right, wife's making burgers. Let's get it.
Let's do it. It's after further review. We will knock out a quick break. When we come back, Muse will do Pluckers Trivia. We'll see if Muse can replicate his success from a week ago when Matthew Musso went 3-0 in anime trivia. Anime. What have you been hiding from me all these years? We work in this little room together and you go 3-0 in anime.
I'm not hiding anything except apparently some luck.
Anime. I can't even spell anime.
I before E?
A-N-I-M-A-E. I can actually spell it.
Okay.
All right. It's after further review. Stay here.
AFR.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know what to do if you've been injured in an accident. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. It's incredible. More than 10,000 Louisiana residents they've served. 10,000. They've recovered more than $2.5 billion for their clients. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. It's fast. It's easy. They're so accessible. You go to the website, getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. You can always pick up the phone and call 888-8888. That's 888-8888. And while, yes, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys can help you if you've been in an accident and you need representation, but they're so amazing with how they give back to the community as well. You can go check out the Grubbin with G episodes with members of their G team. Garrett Nussmeyer's up there right now, Malik Neighbors, Harold Perkins. You can win autographed footballs with members of the G team all throughout the year. And they sponsor great events as well, like the Capital City Beer Fest. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Go to getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Muse, I don't know what you're doing today, man. Chris LaCoy, Muse just ripped the bong. Mike M. Muso so checked out today. He missed the info about Jefferson from your guest, Tatum Everett, who told us all Jefferson wasn't playing. I mean, they're ripping you, dude.
He's not playing.
They're ripping you.
The head coach said that would be aggressive.
That's what they're saying.
That's what I said.
But apparently during Tigers and the Pros, you screwed something up. I don't know.
I don't think that I did.
Head's in the clouds there, Muse. You hate to see it.
My head's fine.
I don't know, man. You hate to see it. Paulie, what do you think?
I think my guy's on the struggle bus over here.
Yes, we're on the struggle bus today. I tell you what. Wonder how he's going to do at Plucker's Trivia whenever he's riding the struggle bus like this. Let's go. Hit me with some music, Muse. Let's do it. It is Plucker's Trivia tonight. You have the...
Next week, the liners got sent off today.
Okay. Every Wednesday, trivia at Plucker's, 2 locations. 7:30 Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. We get a little hors d'oeuvre, a little appetizer of the trivia questions sent to us by Stevie Levy, the king of the wing. And we lob these questions here at Muse to see how he does. Generally, he stinks. Last week, anime trivia. Boom, boom, boom. 3-0 on anime trivia. Now, I'll grant it, he had a 50-50 shot.
That's true.
It was like when it was 2 choices. It was like a true or false or something. It was like
Kinda.
which
Which
was
one of
real.
these is real,
Yeah, which
yeah.
was a real title was the thing. And he went 3-0. I mean, it's It's like, what if you win the coin toss in a football game 3 straight weeks? That's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
Incredible. But one of them you knew. No, one of them you knew.
One of them I knew. The one that I knew was Sailor Moon. The other ones, I don't even remember the names of them now. That was it last year where LSU just won like the coin toss every game? Was that last year?
I have no idea.
It was crazy.
All right, here we go.
Do we have a theme?
Nope.
Oh. General trivia.
I mean, I think you're going to do just fine.
Okay.
I think this could be a 3-0. Nah, maybe. Okay, here we go. Hey, Muse, how much was LSU fined for fans rushing the field last season after their win over Alabama?
Oh, wait. Okay, so I have to get my head wrapped around the old rules, not the new ones. That would have been third offense. Was that $250K?
Hey, we're 1-0.
Now it's 500, right? Isn't third offense 500?
I don't know, and I don't care. Okay. Hey, Muse.
Yo.
Which character is the first in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to have a trilogy of movies completed by the same director?
Oh, well. I will go. Man, I was confident at first, then you threw in the director thing. I'm just going to go with my original answer. I'm going to go with Iron Man.
Ooh. Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man.
Is the answer
okay.
we're looking for. Spider-Man.
There's been like 6 Spider-Man movies, I feel like.
You want to cry about it a little more, or can we get on to the third question?
I mean,
what are we doing over here? I mean, there's some paper towels right there that have been annoying me all damn day.
Yeah,
Why don't you grab those and sop up your tears?
There's more right here.
There's a whole roll right. This is
Look at
unbelievable. Why do we have all these paper towels in here?
I don't know. It's like
What
we
is
don't,
this?
don't we have a closet?
This isn't
for
a
these
kitchen
things?
pantry. What am I doing? Looking at an industrial size gallon of hand sanitizer right there.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I gotta
clean it up.
Gotta kill the germs.
I mean, who's in charge of this place?
You.
I need to start cracking skulls. Then is what needs to happen. Muse, you're fired. Get out.
All right. Do I still get the date?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Last one, Muse. A 4-part HBO documentary series that debuted this month. Last year.
What?
It says this month and parenthetically last year. Oh.
This month last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Looks at the career of what former LSU basketball player?
Wow, I should know this. HBO? I mean, got to be the most famous of all, right? It's got to be Pistol Pete. It's not Pistol Pete. Nah, I don't know. Was it Shaq?
Yeah. I can't believe you got that wrong.
I missed that one. I didn't watch it. Was it any good?
Do you think I watched it?
Probably not.
Hi, Muse. Matt. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
We sit here in a room every day, and I tell you all the time how about I never watch anything. How was Shaq not your guess?
Pistol Pete's a guy. I mean, so is Shaq, but I mean, it's Pete Maravich. There's been a lot of documentaries on him. Why wouldn't there be another one? His numbers retired just like Shaq's.
So is Rudy Macklin's.
It's true.
Muse. Devastating. Devastating.
What was it called? Is that on there? I didn't know if that was on there.
Great to see you. Really. Nice to
That could have been included in the answer.
What's it called? Paul, you think I know the name of an HBO documentary? You think I got that on my fingertips?
No.
Unbelievable.
You have the answers. It could have been included in the answers.
What was the question?
Who was it about? And the answer could have said Shaq and then had the friggin' title there.
Who was the player? Question was, who's the player?
I'm just going to look it up.
It's a great idea. Why don't you do that? Do your job, Muse. Produce the show. Look up the answer. You know while you're there?
I can't look up the answer.
You know what you can also do? You can look around this place for mold, see if we got it. And if we do, call our friends at Pure Restoration. Mold Zero is now Pure Restoration. How about that transition? Mold Zero, now Pure Restoration. Same patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. If you got mold, think you might have mold, not sure if you have mold, mold can be in your walls. You don't even know about it. Pure Restoration comes in. You don't have to worry about moving furniture, pulling up carpet, any of that sort of stuff. They come in. They'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. Your home, office building, commercial building, whatever it may be, they're going to be more efficient. than traditional remediation. It's going to cost you less as well. I love telling this story. There was an elderly woman who's a homeowner, had just black mold on her ceiling. Actually, Jim Woodworth, the first time I ever met him, he told me the story, and he showed me the pictures of this woman's home, and she couldn't get a quote from anywhere that was less than $28,000. This was an elderly widow. Mold Zero came in, got rid of the mold for less than $5,000. Mold Zero is now Pure Restoration. Same company, same great patented non-toxic dry fog. They're general contractors, so they can do demolition and build back when you need it. They can take care of odor, sanitization. It's Pure Restoration. Pure-restoration.com. Pure-restoration.com. Or you could always just shoot me a note and go, hey, Scone, what's that mold thing you always talk about? Some of y'all do that. That's totally fine. Hit me up. I will happily send you the link to the website. If you can't remember it, just hit me up. But it's Pure Restoration. Pure-restoration.com. All right, been a really good show. We got Otter Locks coming up. The Otter, how about it, y'all? Otter was 2-1 last night. Muse, did you ride with the Otter last night?
No, I abstained.
Oh, ye of little faith. Wait till I tell him. I'll tell him you abstained. All right, before we get to the Otter, again, if you're maybe just joining us, just knocking off of work, if you missed it, Brian Kelly earlier today updated Jayden Daniels. For those who have not heard, real quick, play it again, Muse. This is number 1 for Brian Kelly teleconference. Here was today's update on Jayden Daniels.
He worked out this morning, and it appears as though that workout went well, which is the last stage before he's cleared for non-contact practice. So we're expecting him to practice today. If all things go well through practice today, then he'll be cleared for contact on Thursday.
Tigers should be wrapping up over on the practice field if they haven't already, and so we'll wait to see if we get an update on what Jayden Daniels did today. I'll remind you, Brian Kelly meets reporters on Thursday after practice, then has his coaches show, which is that final media availability. So we'll know much more tomorrow about Jayden Daniels' prospects of playing on Saturday against the Gators. Okay, it is after further review. Let's knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back, little Otter Locks, find out what we're betting on tonight. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Y'all, the weather is getting nicer. Fall is in the air. Winter is just around the corner. If you're thinking of planting trees or shrubs, this is the time of year to just plant something and to get them in the ground. So you want that citrus tree, any type of tree. You want those shrubs, those hedges to line the front of your yard, or those privacy shrubs for your neighbors. This is the time of year to plant, and nobody has a better selection than Clegg's Nursery. So get by any of their 4 locations: Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Pretty soon, y'all, we're going to be talking about Christmas trees and poinsettias, and that's going to be a ton of fun. But right now, it's fall. They got all those fall colors, all of your earth tones, the oranges and the greens and the browns. Beautiful fall plants for Thanksgiving. Get on by and see our friends over at Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lock in the low rate of 3.99% on a Toyota Highlander. That's right, 3.99%. Lock in your low rate while you still can. At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It was a humid day. Barefoot children play. looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. 2-in-1 night for the Otter. Let's keep it rolling. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Let's keep it going. Let's get right to it. Matthew Toledo, no surprise. Class of the MAC this year, 5-0 so far. I get a win tonight. I'm going to win one of my over 8.5 win total. I'll be pushing my second over 9 win total. Looking good there. But you know what? It hasn't come without a little bit of a struggle, including last week when Buffalo had its first and goal at the 8-yard line, but put in back door. Eastern Michigan, check this one out. Give you a little, they're the Starkville of the MAC. It's not a great place, okay? Kind of rough facilities, but embrace the road dog role. Check this one out. Last 24 road MAC games against the spread, 22-1-1. Eastern Michigan plus 19.5 is the big play tonight.
We are getting it at DraftKings plus 20, by the way.
Bet more. Bet more.
Okay. Eastern Michigan plus the 20. All right.
Miami of Ohio is controlling their fate on the other side in the MAC East to play Toledo in the MAC championship game in Detroit. They lost their quarterback, Brett Gabbert, in that game against Toledo. The backup came in. They were down 21-3, made it 21-17. They won their next week game as well. This one should be ugly again for the visitor here. Give us Miami, Ohio, minus the point in that one. 17 is what we're looking at.
Miami, Ohio, we're laying 17 with Miami.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Yes.
Akron,
17.
And the other side of that story is Akron was down 17 in that game to Kent State, and they benefited by Christian McCray. 6 catches, 161 yards in that game and 2 TDs. When he went out with a season-ending ankle injury, the game changed. Akron scored 21 unanswered. I woke up the next day and realized I actually won the bet. But anyway.
That's always a good wake-up.
Bowling Green has won 3 in a row, laying 10.5 without that weapon. Looks like split it half. Bowling Green minus 10.5 and under in the Kent State Bowling Green game.
All right. DraftKings has it at 11, but we'll do Bowling Green. And
that thing went from 7.5 yesterday, too. That's why I'm tempering my play there. I'm betting the under also.
Okay, so split the bet with the I'm looking at 11 now, and then the under, the total 41.5.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's like the Chick-fil-A drive-through, baby. Double barrel. Boom. He's in Michigan.
All right. We're not doing NBA yet. That's right. So we're sticking with football. So, all right. Tomorrow, Thursday, downtown Baton Rouge.
Downtown Baton Rouge, the Jolie Pearl, and also Town Square Pizza. Tomorrow I'll be coming from Episcopal. We moved a playoff game. Could be EJ's last game. The little man, the LT of the West, baby. That's right, the Fresh Prince of Britain. They're trying to go out in style.
I love it. All right, Otter, we appreciate it, man. Good luck tonight. Talk tomorrow.
Good luck.
All right, man. We'll see you. That is Jimmy Ott. This is After Further Review, brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. Nobody does it better than Relief Windows because nobody's going to do better work and treat you better than Relief Windows. Remember, when you call Relief Windows, they're never going to take $1 from you until they're done, and you are thrilled. They measure twice, install once, and when they clean up, it's like they were never there, and you are thrilled with the beautiful windows, hardy plank, vinyl siding, entry doors, now shutters as well, from Relief Windows. You can go by their showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville. You can log on to reliefwindows.com, or you can call them at 288-8138, 288-8138 for Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, we actually have time, incredibly, for what we learned. Muse, what did you learn today?
That HBO documentary about Shaq, it was called Shaq.
Sometimes the answer in life is so simple.
Sometimes.
What did I tell you long ago, Muse? Call a thing by its name.
Yeah, just say what it is.
Call it what it is. People try to get creative with titles all the time. Just tell me what it is. Shaq. Okay. Paulie, what did you learn today?
I learned that Coach Prime not interested in coaching in the NFL.
How about that? Do we believe him?
I don't.
I do believe him.
I believe him completely. I mean, you either have a temperament for that's a goal, or it's not. If it's not his goal, I mean, he's made more money than God. It ain't like he's got to go to the NFL for that. And if he wants to coach college, that's fine. But I'm telling you, I mean, I've had this conversation for weeks now. And we talked about it here on the show weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, there is a strong sentiment that Deion Sanders is going to end up, he's going to stay in Boulder until Shedeur and Travis Hunter are gone. He said on the Dan Patrick Show that Shedeur and Shiloh are both coming back next year. And then he'll bounce.
What'd you learn, Matt?
I learned a lot. Jake Crain has eaten all the po' boys.
He has.
Tatum Everett is an undercover Saints fan in Minnesota. And maybe the most pleasing thing I learned today, Vikings fans still hate the Saints because of 2009. It's a giant grudge they hold. I love it. Muse, Paulie, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com for South Point Volkswagen. Remember, y'all, Sign Then Drive is going on right now. It is the best sale of the year. It is this easy. Go to South Point Volkswagen, sign your name, drive away in a brand new vehicle with little else. It's Sign Then Drive. It's going on right now at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Nobody has more inventory than South Point Volkswagen, both new and certified pre-owned. So maybe you're not looking for a new vehicle. Maybe you want to buy certified pre-owned. Remember, South Point Volkswagen has all makes and models. Because they move more inventory than any other dealership, they have more trade-ins, so they have more certified pre-owns as well, all makes and models. Shop them online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Sign Then Drive is back at South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. What's your direction?
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.